Welcome back to Drivecast episode 132. We're here. We're back. We're horny.
We're so Barack.
We're CJ. I'm gonna pick you up by the head and spike you on the ground like Rob Gronkowski for real.
One of those like anti-homeless like spikes that they have on like benches and shit.
Oh, can you stop speaking American? Oh, bro, I'm like you just what anti-homeless spikes? What the fuck are you on about?
CJ,
Okay,
explain yourself.
Okay. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain it. There's literally spikes like the death trap from Fortnite that they place on benches so homeless people don't sleep on them.
And now
That's
you're
really what
using
they are.
Fortnite references for me to try to understand what you're talking about. Like,
Oh my
oh
god.
my god.
CJ, I'm
I
gonna
think
throw a
that-
boogie bomb at you.
I think that should have been done a long time ago.
Fortnite.
Oh, it
Honestly.
feels good to be back. It feels good to be back with the CJ slander. Oh,
Oh,
We're so Barack. It's been a hot minute.
fuck. He just doesn't stop, Tim. He just doesn't stop. He just
No,
doesn't
he doesn't
fucking
stop.
stop. But I think we should kind of address the elephant in the room, and that elephant in the room is we're definitely short a host. We're definitely the power dynamic here between the Brits and the Americans is off, and I don't like it.
I
In a
already
positive
felt
way.
it in the intro. I already like the first minute. I was like, I'm outnumbered. Like, I didn't
like-
want to say it though. Like, I didn't want to say it because, like, you're gonna, you're gonna do the segue, whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely outnumbered. Definitely
No.
outnumbered.
I feel like also the other downside of like not having Jay here, so I feel like all three of us are pretty chaotic. Whether we're chaotic neutral or the other two, I forgot the names of them because I'm not a 4chan redditor like CJ. Jay is definitely like as neutral as it gets. I feel like he's the one person where when all hell breaks loose, he like kind of lets us all kind of tie back together. And I
Yeah,
feel like since we don't have that, we're kind of the training wheels are off.
I think it goes both ways. I think either he'll bring everything back together, or he'll go on the other end and he'll just activate. He'll be like, like it goes like one or two ways. Like he'll either be like, all right, guys, rate it in, or he'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Most of the time
Like-
he represents stability on the podcast.
Yeah,
I vote that.
I don't mean to slander Jay, but I mean, not one thing I'm gonna miss
We
because
slander each other here anyway.
I'll
so
say
it's
to
not
his
like-
little face. I'll now give him a kiss on the mouth.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care. I'll say
He's-
to his face and kiss him on the mouth.
he's gonna be
Let me
back
check.
anyway. He's gonna be back anyway. But like yeah, as a guest probably. Should we go into what the reason why he's not here? He just doesn't wanna. He's not really he's not a public figure. He doesn't go out like doing commentary video. Like he hasn't done a commentary video in what like 4 or 5 years. So
Yeah.
like it's a little out of his comfort zone, and I could kind of understand that. So you gotta
Yeah, I
respect
think
it.
I think it's just comes from a place of like just been out of the game for a while. But hopefully, like never say never. Hopefully, we can get
I
him
mean-
on in the future because it would be lit.
We'd love
Yeah.
to have him back on.
Yeah, the seat's always open for him. So it's Jay's podcast as much as it is ours. So, but
Agree. I
Yeah.
think you've touched on it.
I mean, if we want to be real about it though, during the quarantine special, we did mention how Jay did get run over by a lorry and he got COVID-19.
Yeah.
So this,
I don't know whether he ever recovered. Really. To be honest.
I mean, he's not here.
Yeah.
Let's
Well, yeah,
let's all
that's
get a
what I'm saying.
moment. Let's all get a moment of silence. For Jay.
Getting him out of the iron.
Moment of silence, please. All right, thank you.
I mean, getting him out of the iron lung is gonna take like a 4-person team, regardless.
Why does he? What, CJ, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you
Yeah, what's that
speaking
even
English?
mean? I was hoping it wasn't just me that was getting confused there.
You don't know what an iron lung is?
The iron lung.
Think of
Now
the
you're
Spon-
speaking in communist.
No.
That's the Iron Curtain, Cam.
It's the Iron Curtain. No.
The only iron I know is iron bars from Minecraft. So
Remember the contraption from SpongeBob where the dude's like ass is like in a giant like machine? I'm literally putting a picture in it right here. This thing. This thing right
Nah,
here.
I swear you just made that up.
No, no. That
No,
thing.
I did not know that was called the eyelid. And why does the thing on the left look like a testicle? I think it's like a fucking ball bag. Just one
Well,
though.
that's where the doctor's. He just squeezes it.
God.
And then does it make like a kind of like a you know like a what's it called? You know the little fucking duck things where you squeeze in and it goes
Quack.
yeah like the quack like you know.
I don't know about a quack or whatever.
I mean, if you do that to my balls, that's what I do.
Oh, quack, 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 quack.
So,
allegedly.
allegedly. I think we should also update people on what the fuck we've been up to, because the thing is like, even though the podcast, because let's be honest, the quarantine special was kind of like a one-off. I would say like the real last episode was like whatever it was in 2018 or 19, whatever.
Yeah, I think like Super Street just came out. It was around that time.
Yeah.
Horizon 4 was just out. Like, so it's been a hot minute.
So I would say like, for the past, couple of years, we've all like, it's not like we haven't like hung out either. We've hung out. We make time to hang out at least like once a week, if not at least like at the very minimal amount, like a couple times a month. Mm-hmm. So like, it's not like we haven't been around. We'll get into some other stories later on involving us three, but
no, we're outside. We have been outside.
Oh yeah,
to be fair.
we have been outside.
If we're talking like last few years, we've been active. But sorry, Richard, yeah, carry on.
No, that's what I was gonna say. If you want to begin with what you've been up to, you can go right on for it.
What's the timeline? Where are we starting from?
2020, pandemic.
2020. Okay, so 2020. Need for Speed Heat burnt me out.
Yup.
This is real. This is for real. This is real life. So, 2020, I did YouTube full time and Twitch full time for a little bit. That back then I still had the MX5, and I'm not gonna lie. We can go into YouTube burnout a little bit. Like that's a whole separate. I mean, let's fucking get into it. Why not?
Wait, was the MX5? Was the MX5 really that short of a time ago?
Yeah.
Dude, it feels longer ago than that. Holy shit! Because it feels like felt like you had the Clio forever.
I had the Clio for 1 year.
Fuck.
Wow. Only a year.
That's wild.
Yeah.
When you put it into like perspective, it's like so short, but like it feels like forever.
But I had a big burnout from heat. Heat fucked me up. Like it's kind of, it's one of those things like. Now I'm making content, and I'm definitely making content about like what I want to make, and also like I'm with my job and stuff, it's having to balance all that out kind of thing. But 2020, it was a good year. Like honestly, I know it was lockdown and that, but I was enjoying myself.
Bro,
whatever.
We were doing some like what? Yeah, You're the Gamer.
You're the Gamer.
One of the things that we did, it really was You're the Gamer. One of the things that we did during that year. Or was it the year after? It was, I mean, still regardless, like beginning of 2021 was still pandemic. But like, one day, me and Cam, I think it was for Cam's birthday. If not, it was for my birthday. I remember 2021, this was like true pandemic settings, bro. We had like a physical table at the end of both of our rooms on Discord, and we were playing beer pong. That shit was so fun.
I'm sure I can find a video of that if I look. I will look for that video so you can show it to everyone. Yeah. That was like true pandemic times. Like even like we had like raves. Like we lit. Like. I remember. Yeah, I was about to say. Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. I was about to say, like, landing on that point. I think I drank more during lockdown than I did after the fact. Like. The amount of alcohol I consumed, whether it was even in content, like the drunk streams, all that shit, like lit, and then that whole period, I look back on it quite fondly, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I remember, and this is like truly like cracked and corona like lockdown vibes. When we were doing the beer pong over Discord, I don't even remember using like actual like ping pong. I just had to scrounge for whatever was closest.
Yeah.
So I had this little like plastic cube. That I don't know what it's from. I think it fell off like my racing seat or something. I just
got
used
chlamydia,
that.
got AIDS,
I just used that.
Yeah, it was just covered in human fecal matter. CJ would throw it in the cup and he would drink it while it was in the cup. It was disgusting.
Yeah, and you know what? And
Me and Cam would
everyone
be like,
watching
"Ugh,
this,
CJ, stop! You need to stop
everyone
this
watching
now."
this knows what CJ's like as well. Like,
Oh,
like like he's deep throating that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Deep throating that motherfucker. But yeah, that's so. It's like obviously COVID happened. I took a little bit of a break off uploading for a little bit, which was actually quite nice. Obviously, I've been in between a few jobs as well. So at one point, I was doing some YouTube work for like this music company, and then yeah, now where I am at, also doing more YouTube shit for a similar company, which they pay me from 9 to 5. We don't have to talk about that right now. They ain't giving me no sponsorship, so we ain't gonna touch on that. I'm not affiliated with them, man. And yeah, like what have I done? You know, it's so hard thinking back and actually thinking about it,
yeah.
like what I've actually done. So obviously I had the Clio. Actually, no, let's go to the MX-5. So had the MX-5. I would have loved to have kept that car for longer, but it had rust issues and like bad rust issues as well. Like
Typical
it would
Miata.
have cost so much to fix that car. I drifted that motherfucker in the snow. Like I did all types of shit. Had slick tires all year round. Like it was one of those things. I've mentioned this to you boys. Like, but that car, like for the value you have, there's so many things that car does like on par with my Cayman, you know, whether it's the gearbox is like now I can say I've driven an S2K and I've obviously driven the Cayman and driven a few other bits. Like that MX-5 gearbox, without a doubt, was like one of the best gearboxes I've ever used. So yeah, it was a bit of, like bittersweet getting rid of it. I actually did end up seeing it in Manchester, like a little bit after I got rid of it, and it didn't have an MOT because I checked it when I got home. No, because one of my mates saw it in McDonald's, sent me a picture, was like, "Oh, that's your old car," and then I checked the MOT and it was expired. So someone was just driving that car around like with no MOT, like you know, not road legal at all. But yeah, I imagine it's probably been scrapped now because it still doesn't have an MOT on it. So there's no way it lasted this long. And then I had the Clio, very fun car, but she was a bitch. Like every time I drove that motherfucker, something broke. Very certain it had some type of like crash damage or something before I bought it. Like definitely was sus. And then yeah, in terms of cars and stuff, now we're here in the Porsche. 1 year, done crazy 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah, 1 year, man.
Anniversary.
And it's yeah, it's been all right. And it's actually not really giving me any problems. So I've got like at the moment there's a knock at the back, needs new tires and stuff. But now your boy's finally got a job, so we can actually upgrade it and do things and actually build it. It's quite interesting, like the way that Richard, you like, you know, talk about your MX-5, like that honeymoon period not ever ending. I don't really feel that is ended with me at all. Like I get into it and every single time I just look at the badge and think, what the fuck, like this is my
Yeah,
whip,
yeah.
like, you know, kind of thing. Like, and yeah, I've never felt like in terms of actually driving it, like again, I mentioned the MX-5 and I mentioned the fact that it does so many things well, but yeah, that next step up, like in terms of the sound and like, you know, the MX-5 not like the most engaging sound in the world because it's just a little four part whatever, you know, kind of thing. But you know, the sound, mid-engine, like, all that shit, like all the other bits that, you know, that I wanted from the MX-5 kind of thing, like it's there. And yeah, man, I fucking love that car. Like I'm definitely gonna build it up, defo.
Yeah, no, the with I guess with me, well, is that all you gotta say? Is that pretty much it? I mean, you've been also like out. You've been going to raves and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, outside of cars and shit, going to raves. What else have I been doing? I've got a gal now.
Hey.
Yeah, so that's yeah, that's happened. What else has happened? I don't know, like just living life. Living life, getting better than the whole, better than the whole, better than the whole, better than the whole, better than the whole. Yeah, for real, for real. That's like that'd be it, really. I don't know, like you say your shit, and then I'll fill in where I can remember. You know, my memory be hazy than the motherfucker.
Okay. Well, the November 2021 chapter is definitely being saved for last. But
Yeah. I
Yeah.
missed out. Yeah, I missed out.
so with me 2020, so it was a year after I bought the Miata. It's crazy to think that I bought that before the pandemic. I bought the Infinity because that year during 2020, like February, March, like literally I think like right at the beginning of lockdown, my Mazda 6 blew up. Rest in peace, 312,000 miles. It was a trooper. and it took everything I threw at it. And my
Yeah,
God, I thrashed
am
the
I right
bitch.
in saying like you still miss that car?
Oh yeah. If like I would say I definitely love the Infinity, but like I don't know, man. Driver feedback is so important to me, and I don't have much of that. And you're not gonna expect too much out of a big luxury sedan, but I don't know, bro. I just miss the really sporty feedback in the Mazda 6, the VVTi kicking in. Yeah, it was a little different. With this car, it's just like it's a Mazda 6, but upgraded with a downgraded steering rack. That's what it is. That's all it is. But and it's way quicker too. It's like 33% faster or whatever. Um, but yeah, that happened. It's cool. It doesn't give me any issues. I bought a VQ for a reason because they're reliable. They're bulletproof. And then that was it for 2020. To be honest, like it was a pretty boring year. It was just like it was just we're just getting lit in here. To be honest, it was pretty
Yeah,
lit.
yeah. Like all I remember of that year was making videos, getting lit, and
Yeah,
making more videos. Like, that's
literally,
all I
yeah,
remember that year.
bro.
Yeah, for real.
2020, we're all going off on videos too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the year after in 2021, um, I started going out a bit more again, just because lockdown has started to kind of lift, and and it's kind of normal to go back out. You just gotta wear a mask type shit. And I remember in April I remember this like it was yesterday. So I find this Miata cruise, and I was like, oh shit, that would be kind of dope to go to. They're going from they're meeting up in San Jose, then they're stopping in Santa Cruz and going down to Monterey. And so I was like, fuck meeting up with them in San Jose. I want to sleep in a little bit, so I'll meet up with them in Santa Cruz at the halfway point. So I meet up with them there. I am like 30 minutes early, and I'm just like sitting on my phone. I'm bored. I remember opening Twitter. I was like, oh shit, it's Cam's birthday. And then I remember tweeting, happy 22nd birthday, Cam. But I actually got it off by a year. It was actually your 23rd birthday. And
Wait, when was
then
this?
this was on your birthday in 2021.
Oh shit! I don't remember that. I don't really. I have no recollection of that. I was
But
probably faded than a hotel's vibe.
but yeah, that happened. I was just like chilling in the parking lot, and then Miata boys pull up, and there's a like slim few that I met from there that like I still talk to, but like the people I met through going to those cruises that are fucking, they're the homies for real. And also it's fun like being able to meet up with people in a fucking parking lot for no reason, shoot the shit, and then go on a drive. Like it's super super nice. It's something I've never experienced before, because like all my friends from high school, they're not really into cars like that. So like and also like they're just not down enough to like go out for a drive. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's hella cool. I've been doing that for like, it's pretty much been 2021 on a repeat for the last like couple of years. Just been
No, I hear that. I hear that.
just
Yeah.
been what's it called, like hanging out with them, going out on cruises. The video slowed down a little bit this year, I'm not gonna lie, but other than that though, yeah, I've been still staying creative though, with graphic design and photography and whatnot. But the videos kind of just like took a backseat for me, because I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that YouTube burnout was crazy. It do be crazy, especially when like when I wouldn't say I do not rely. I think we've all kind of proved with like our own videos, we don't really rely on Need for Speed for content. Although it would be super nice if a game was good, because then you can make a lot of nice videos on it. But regardless,
Now, on that note, like I got early access to the last DLC that came out. I literally hopped on, played it for 5 minutes. I was like, nah, this isn't it. And this was before it came out. So like, you think like, obviously, like you can make a lot of content, like kind of thing. But I went on that shit, saw the DeLorean. This was literally like maybe a week or two before it came out, and I was like, I'm not making a video on this. Like, this is a joke. Like, but yeah, we don't have to talk about that. I was sick of that motherfucker. We don't have to talk about it.
Hey, for real
That's why
though.
I'm not uploaded. Yeah, I ain't doing that shit. Fuck that.
But yeah, I guess some other shit I've been up to, like involving cars, has been my car was in Roadster Bros magazine over in Japan.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
my car was the Miata was used as a canvas car for Like Wheels, which is my friend Joey's wheel brand. Let's see what else. Back in January of the earlier this year, me and 6 other friends in 5 separate cars. We all drove down from the Bay Area down to LA for a Miata meet on the day before New Year's Eve. And bro, that shit was so fun. Like, honestly, if you guys ever get the chance to like go on a road trip, even if it's just like one other friend in a separate car, even if it's just that minimum, like having walkie-talkies and going on like a really long drive and just shooting the shit is so fucking fun. Like, I remember during that trip we stopped by this like Mexican food restaurant, and we got back on the freeway, and like everyone was kind of like like when you're at a track day, or like you're busy, that like lunch, that like post lunch like tiredness really just like kicks in.
It's like being at work.
You get easy.
Yeah. So like we're on the road for a bit, and it was the quietest. And keep in mind, like 4 other cars other than mine, 6 other heads. Like there's hella of us. Radio is dead silent. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like everyone sleep here or something? So like, this is the shit I die for like walkie-talkie, just like walkie-talkie road trips. 25 minutes of dead silence. And I go, is it just me, or did that Mexican food make you guys blow a hole in the ozone layer? My God. And then the chat the like radio just started lighting up again, and yeah, that shit is just so fucking funny. It's like being in a Discord call playing a racing game, but like in real life.
One of my dreams, and just to kind of like to build off of what you're saying, is one of my dreams that I would love is to go on a road trip with like all of yous, like somewhere, and we all are in like separate cars. We all have walkie-talkies, like in Top Gear, because I always watch Top Gear, and I imagine us or like our friends like doing that. The exact same thing, traveling along with the walkie-talkies and shit.
It's so fucking fun.
I've got like 2 examples of like things. I've never done a road trip with other people in their whips, only because like I don't know. Actually, I don't know why, because I actually do have mates that drive.
Would be down.
I've got a walkie-talkie story though. So back in the day, I don't even know. I might have actually already told this story on the podcast because it's quite an old story. But back in the day, we used to go to redacted place. I'm gonna have to talk about it. And we used to basically allegedly put like kind of block off the mountain road kind of thing at the top. You guys know about the story?
Oh,
yeah.
I
You
know
guys know about the story.
I remember the Google Maps in my head right now.
Yeah. The specific exact location.
Yeah.
But like the shit looked like a rally stage, and like basically no one goes up there at night. We had walkie-talkies then, obviously for safety, because I'm a very responsible person. And that's the only other time I've used walkie-talkies. There's other stories about that, but I'll leave that for another day. And then in terms of like road trips, like I've done road trips where I've had people shotgun. So in my MX-5, I did a road trip in Wales. I had guy shotgun. That was sick. I've done road trips with my dad across Europe. That was also pretty lit. But then it was also I wasn't really driving that much. Drove a little bit here and there, but not loads, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely need to do that. It's definitely something that I want to do. Like, I think obviously when that knock is sorted on the Cayman, new tires. Oh, new tires. When all that shit's sorted, I'm definitely gonna like just fill up the tank and just go somewhere. But yeah, like, what can I say? Like, literally, in terms of our YouTube mates, like in the UK, no one drives. It's mad. Charlie's only just got a car. Like,
Yeah.
It's been years. You boys need to hurry up still if you're watching. You know who I'm talking about.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
No, but like, yeah, road trips are super fun. Like, if you can like load up a few friends and like their separate whips, because like when there's like downtime and it's like kind of getting boring, like is funny. So there's like the lineup was four Miatas, one 240Z, and so like you have four of these slow piece of shit like pieces of soap, just like driving on the highway, and then you have Armin. He's like, fuck this, man. I'm getting super bored. He'll like kick it down from like fifth down to fourth and then third, and just rip past us. And it's like, well, we can't keep up with that. He has like 300 horsepower.
Can't respond to that.
Like, my guy has a car that weighs less than a Miata with 3 times the horsepower as us. Like, we are not keeping up with that bullshit.
It's literally what we do on a Saturday, but just real life.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah, literally what we'd be doing on a Saturday.
It was a vibe, bro. Like, I would say that entire trip was sick. Like, we stopped by at a few, like, scenic spots off of Highway 1. Posted up because it was fucking rainy. That's when, like, California was being hit with, like, quasi hurricanes. And like I remember
my favorite
also,
conditions.
Oh yeah, of course. I love
my
it.
favorite
I love that
conditions. I
shit.
love a bit of rain.
But
what's it called? Like it's a post rain sunny. That's what we want. That's what
yeah,
want.
we like those settings. We like those settings.
Post rainy sunny.
Those settings are very nice to look at, and also like I don't have to worry about fucking dying. So
it's like a little bit of slip, you know, like you feel it wiggling.
Manageable.
You know,
it's manageable. You could see it coming. You could see it coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, we stopped at like Neptune's Nest and like a bunch of like scenic spots off of Pacific Coast Highway, and we actually had like our friend Ray like split off from us
Shout out Ray.
while we were doing that. Shout out Ray. He was splitting off from us while we were doing the sightseeing because he went to go visit a friend, and while we we're driving through downtown LA and fucking disgusting fucking ass traffic. Ray hits up Sarah, and Sarah goes over the walkie-talkie. He's like, hey, Ray's headlights are out. Someone needs to guide him to the Airbnb. He's all the way in Gardena. You need to take him all the way to East LA County. I'm like, fuck, that's going to be a trek. So we go over to pick him up, and so it's me. I forgot to mention, I had a passenger this trip. It was my friend Ben, because his 240SX was like kind of in the shitter at the time. His K24 blew up, but it's back now, so yippee. Back then though, he was without his S13, and he was gonna take that down to LA, but since it wasn't driving, he decided to ride shotgun with me, and so we take a detour off of Interstate 10, which like goes straight through downtown LA. If you've played Midnight Club LA, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Describe it again. Describe the road.
I-10.
I-10. That's the freeway at the bottom of the map in Midnight Club LA. That goes left to right.
Prior to it's the one that goes from
the Santa Monica. Yeah, it's the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were on it. Yeah. So we get off on I-10, right? And we're in. Keep in mind, we're passing by downtown LA, and we're on I-10. South of I-10 is South Central. So we're in this bright red fucking Miata.
The hood.
We're in this bright red fucking Miata. We like pull out onto this road, and immediately just see like gang tagging on the wall. Like literally, like it says Norte on the wall and like red tagging. And then we our first right hand turn after we got off the freeway was Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, which for all of our American viewers, you guys know that any city with an MLK Boulevard is the fucking ghetto for some reason. So we're driving through.
There's multiple.
Oh yeah, there's
every city has
like
one.
Pretty much every city.
You can even think of new names for your roads.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Hell, why am I outnumbered here? Why am I outnumbered here?
A lot of work.
You like need to talk.
Cam needs another British person on this podcast.
A lot of work.
What's going on, man?
A lot of work.
British people in the comments, load them up. Load them motherfuckers up. Yeah, load them motherfuckers up. That's dumb as fuck.
But we're driving on MLK Boulevard, and like Ben goes, oh, that's interesting. I was like, what's that? He's like, I just got a notification on my phone from this neighborhood app. It says, man weaponizing hammer 400 yards away. And I'm like, yeah, we are for sure in South Central, baby. So
I mean, it could be worse. Like the fact you were in the MX-5 is like, thank fuck you weren't in a Merc. or
Mhm.
like like some shit. Like MX-5 is a bit unsuspecting. Like
Not when it's bright red though, and you're in
you
Crip
think,
Town.
But
you don't
also,
think you
I
went
don't
through
know
that
about
in
that
like old
one.
S-Class or like something a bit more
Nah, bro.
urban.
you were also, you were wow. You were also
I get
Richard.
away with it. I get away with it. What do you think they were calling my ancestors when you got like when we were slaves? Come on.
Anyway, so we got onto the 110 freeway and we're heading toward the destination. We get there. It's in this like industrial warehouse complex. And me and Ben park, we get out of the car. We meet up with Ray. We see him for the first time in a couple hours. See that he's doing good.
Cold
He's just
Harbor
like,
type vibe.
yeah, cool Harbor type vibe. And we meet up with Ray in this garage, and um, I didn't know anything about him because I don't, to be honest, like I don't really watch much like car. I don't take too much. I don't take in too much car media. But the shop that we ended up at was Lucky off of Motor Trend, like Lucky Cost off of Motor Trend, which is like for anyone who watches Motor Trend, he's like one of the main hosts for like multiple shows.
Say that again.
Um, Lucky Costa.
Because I know Motor Trend, but
I'm
okay.
sure you've seen
Okay,
him. It's a
okay.
white dude with a beard.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't recognize him, to be honest. I don't know
I
why.
can't
But
say
yeah,
I've
no,
seen any of the content.
he
But
uh
carry on, maybe.
he has like shows on Motor Trend, and when I told I came back home and I told my dad where I was at, he's like because I didn't know about him. I was like I was showing him pictures. Yeah, we met this guy Lucky at his garage, and then I showed him the picture. And he's like, wait, is it like Lucky from like Motor Trend? And he's like he like had a full on boomer moment. It was like, wow, Richard, that's crazy. You met a celebrity.
You just like
I was like, yeah, sure, Dad. I was just at a random garage in LA. That's about it. It was pretty nonchalant, I'll be honest. But yeah, we went got some fucking some za, and not that type of za. We got pizza, and we went to the car meet and posted up there. And the following morning, there's a Cars and Coffee, and me and Ben just we decided to go home because we wanted to be home for New Year's. But yeah, that was probably one of the funnest trips I've been on. Was that like LA trip with hella friends. I low key kind of regret coming home a day early because they like drove on like Mulholland and shit the like day after. So it kind of sucks that I missed out on that, but it's whatever. There will be other LA trips, but yeah, all I'm saying
Indeed, there will be.
my point
Indeed,
is
there will be.
like you guys need some fucking walkie-talkie road trips in your life. That's all I'm saying. Cause god damn, that shit makes my ass moist.
I gotta put this to good use. Put this to good
Okay, you're
use.
not fucking bringing a whole ass fucking ham sandwich radio or whatever.
Yeah, that looks like some shit that they used in like Vietnam or whatever.
Combat. Yeah, this is combat radio. It's combat. tech.
Bro, think he's playing Tarkov in real life.
Yeah, for real. The thing is, as well, near me, like there is loads of roads. Like I need to, like Scotland is like unmarked territory for me. You probably got. I don't know if you guys know about the North Coast 500.
No.
Type it in
Yeah.
NC 500. Put it into Google. But those roads, some mental roads. You probably would have recognized some of the roads from like Top Gear and shit because a lot of the time they would go like across those roads. But like Scotland is a lot of like unmarked territory for me. Even going like so some people get the ferry to Santander, which is like the other side of Spain, and then drive back through Spain to England, and then like
That's
basically through Spain is dead. Like you will literally go miles and miles and miles without seeing cars, and it's like twisties, like proper roads, like completely dead, like a playground kind of
Yeah.
thing, like
See,
traffic
like,
off kind of vibe.
I feel like there's a pro and con to the geography to both of our locations here. The pro for you is you get to save all of those miles on a fair trip all that way. Whereas like with here, there really is no options to like ferry somewhere and then drive. We kind of have to like loop it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that stacks up miles, bro.
Yeah. So you like, I mean, yeah. So like you can ferry it to other places, but more time you will just loop it anyway. So like if you're going to France, or whatever, you're gonna have to loop it back round to
Yeah.
get back to England, kind of thing. So it definitely depends, but like Netherlands, Nurburgring, All that shit. Even track days like Silverstone, Brands Hatch, all need to tick off the list. More mainly a money thing, to be honest. Like if I had unlimited funds, I'd be boom, I'd be right there, kind of thing. But it's definitely like, definitely needs to be done. And like again, it's also finding the people to go with, like other than Hayden, shout out Hayden. There's just not really that many like possibilities for that kind of shit. I think probably the one road trip I have done in recent memory, I sent you some of the images for the Clio, is I drove my mom's Clio RS down to Cornwall. So for you fucking Yanks listening, that is like that is like, the part of the UK that looks like the foot.
Hmm.
It's that part of the UK,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And like basically like down there, it's like Mediterranean type weather. Like the shit is so warm. Like they're a lot closer to like kind of like south of France kind of vibe on the equator because they're so much lower. So like their 23 degrees is like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like at 30 up here. But the roads up there are mental. Like crazy, like similar to Cali but a lot tighter. And yeah, I took my mom's Clio RS there. That shit was fucking wild. Yeah, I didn't record a video just because, a bit low on time. I actually regret not doing that because it would have been a fucking sick video. But like, that car was, yeah, it was interesting because obviously I had the 172, so it was interesting comparing that. A lot more grown up. Like my 172, a lot of like lift off oversteer, very, very like just. It's very like you could kind of like urge it to just be like a fucking like just be like OTT with it. But yeah, unbelievable roads down there, and I fucking drove back up with my mom and my sister in the car. They were shitting themselves. But yeah, that motherfucker's fast, even if the French gearbox is literally brain dead, fucking spasticated. Yeah, that shit was lit. That was actually
Well,
the first time I've like driven an auto for a long period of time. For like, we're talking about what is that like 350? I'm gonna Google it. I think it's about 350 miles each way. Maybe more than that. It's like a 5 hour drive, which obviously for the UK is
that's
quite a
like
lot.
here to LA.
Yeah, about 300 miles each way. So, you know, but
I don't
it's fun
know.
as fuck. Fun as fuck.
I don't know about yous, but when I drive an automatic, I tend to drive a lot quicker than I normally do because
Nah.
I did 'cause my TSX is a stick and that's my daily. But I was driving. I had to pick up some people from the airport the other day. I was driving my mom's car, and it's an automatic. It's a 2023 Mazda CX-30, and I just naturally found myself doing like 95 miles an hour, and I would never do that in my Acura.
But is that
And
just
this
because it's got more power?
automatic, not even necessarily more
No,
power.
I don't even think it's that, CJ. I think it's the size of the car. You're so much higher. It's hard. It's different to gauge speed at that height in comparison to like where your car sits.
Because
Well,
I'm
I mean,
definitely not the same. I'm definitely
that's
not the same.
it's somewhat, I guess, the same because when my first car, I had a 2006 Rav4, and that was a six-cylinder, and that had about 270 horsepower, and that thing was like a rocket. It was like a mini rocket, and I found myself. That's probably not the best car to give an 18-year-old, but I was like, I found myself just naturally doing 80 miles an hour everywhere.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
it's
with me, bro. Like, if I'm in a manual, that all when I'm looking at the fucking gear selector, bro, all I'm thinking is noise. So, if I do a little downshift ski, oh, you bet your sweet ass I'm gonna floor even if I'm already going fucking 80. Like, yeah, that's just that's the thing with me. Like, I even got to be careful when I'm in the G because that car is automatic, but like all recently, like I didn't do it the first like couple of years I owned it, but I've been doing it for I'd say like the past like 6 months. I've just been like putting it into manual mode just so like I don't have to when I'm in traffic. I don't have to wait for the fucking gearbox to like downshift twice for me just so I can have the power to like get into a gap in
That
traffic.
shit is
Whereas,
so yeah. So in the Clio, that shit was fucking annoying. Like,
yeah,
it just has a mind of its own. Like, it just shifts up and
yeah,
down when it wants to, and
yeah,
annoying as shit. But
yeah, I
like
really hate
going to
it.
your point about driving mad, like I think it's definitely just down to the car and like the characteristics. Because the car I ragged the most was without a doubt that Clio. Like, and that had 170 brake, just under a ton. It was the weight that made that car mad. Like,
I'll be
and
honest, bro. I feel way safer driving a manual.
same. I just feel more. I feel more.
Also,
Well, I guess it's just because you're naturally like shifting up and down.
Well, also when you get like a hang of heel towing and you know where the engine braking is, like you can stop really really quick, and
I
yeah, you
guess
can avoid accidents really
it,
easily.
it also just kind of forces you to pay more attention to the car. You're not like even if you are a very safe driver, you don't go on your phone, you don't text and drive. If you're driving an automatic, you'll sometimes just naturally kind of like you won't pay as much attention as
Yeah.
if you're
CJ's
like
painting himself out. CJ be like,
No,
give me
I
a
know
ticket."
I knows what he means. Like when you're on the freeway for like 45 minutes and you're just like sitting there doing 80 and you're just kind of getting bored, you kind of like just you're like driving and you're still doing fine driving, but you're kind of just like zoning off into the distance.
And that
But yeah,
happens.
that's the same in a manual or an auto though. That doesn't change on the motorway.
But what I'm saying is it happens.
I don't know if it
less.
does for me because like when I'm in the Miata, like sometimes when I get bored, when I hit that threshold of boredom, I fucking downshift and I go, and then I stop at 85 and I shift back up again.
Yeah, I don't. Not on the motorway. I don't do that shit.
I love doing that shit.
On the
I'm
motorway,
passing- If I'm
I'm just
passing a
thinking I need to
truck,
save money.
if I'm passing a truck, or I just want to get a little
Drive.
shitty, in, like the left lane. I mean, hell yeah.
Bro, I'm next to a fucking grandma in her 2008 Toyota Camry. We're both going 75. I'm in 5th gear. I fucking downshift down to 4th, and I give it all its 100 horsepower possible, and you bet your fucking sweet tits I'm pulling on that dumbass grandma.
I think maybe that's the difference. Like, so with my car, like I can sit at 85 or 90 allegedly, and like that's where it gets its best like MPG. Like, it likes to be at 85, 90. Like, you can go a bit lower, whatever. But if you sit at 85, it will go up to 30 miles to the gallon kind of thing on the motorway. So I'm pretty much always constantly in the overtaking lane. And I think also like the space thing as well, like over there, a lot more space, like, a lot less, no, yeah, a lot less traffic on the road probably compared to here as well. Like, so like I'm always, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is, I'm always like finding traffic. Like my morning commute, oh my God, don't even get me started. So firstly, people be doing no hezi in 8 o'clock traffic.
Oh my fucking God, I hate people like that.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
it
People
pisses
drive
me off, bro.
Crack heads in Birmingham,
Best
man. It's gridlock traffic. You got a guy doing fucking 50 in and out
Literally!
of lanes. Like,
Literally!
yeah, man. It's long. It's long. And like, yeah, it's long. But like, I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
That pisses me off, bro. Like I remember I was sitting in like gridlock traffic in San Jose. It was like during rush hour, so it was like 5 p.m. So it's like 5 p.m. California traffic, people coming home from work, traffic is dead stopped on the freeway, right? We're probably moving at like a pace of like 10 miles per hour. There's this big fucking Cadillac Escalade. I see him in my rear. I'm looking in my rear because when I'm just like standing in traffic, I feel like that's when I'm the most anxious. When I'm going like, 20 to 30 in like really deep traffic, because like you don't know where you don't know if someone's not gonna fucking shoulder check and like go into your lane or whatever. Like I try to always be as like aware of my surroundings as possible. So like I'm just like cycling through my mirrors and shit, and I see this Escalade, bro. My vision zooms in on the mirror, like I'm like, oh fuck, here comes my death. And this fucking Escalade is like, I could see the body roll in the Escalade doing this as he's like changing the fucking, bro, he's going.
That's Final Destination type shit.
No, dude, literally, we are going. Let me remind you, we're going 10 to 15 miles per hour. This motherfucker had to have been going 45, 50, just finding the tiniest little gaps in traffic, bro. Like he was coming up diagonally toward me, and I was like, oh no. So I immediately like I just like start like I didn't slam on my brakes, but like I started like feathering on my brake a little bit just so I could give him that gap, because I knew what gap he was going for. He was going for the gap between me and the car to the left of me, little forward of me. So I had to like brake a little bit.
Like were you even thinking in like that, or was it just an autopilot? Because I imagine you're just an autopilot. No, you're thinking, okay, I need to get the fuck out of the way, kind of thing.
Yeah, I just when I knew what fucking, because bro, I've played enough no hezi on a set of course. So I know where you would naturally look. he's gonna naturally look where my fucking car is. So I'm gonna brake so I could give him as much room as possible.
Because if that was me,
Yeah.
like my it's like primal instinct, you know, it's like fight or flight kind of thing. Like you look back in your mirror, you see the fucking Cadillac doing this, and you think, oh fuck, I want to move out the fucking way. Like,
Or even in
you
and
know,
out.
like in retrospect, obviously it makes sense why you went that way and da 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 da. But in the moment, you're probably looking in your mirror like, oh fucking hell, like you know, kind of thing. Like
The thing that sucked is I couldn't do much because so there's this on ramp, so there's already traffic next to me on my right, so I was pretty much like in the middle of the freeway in gridlock traffic, and I that was my only move. My only move was to either not give him the gap at all or give him the gap. So I'm like, I'll give him the gap. Fuck it, I don't want to get hit. I like my Infinity too much.
He's
No,
the
I
main
hear that.
character. He's the main character in that moment.
He is the main character in that moment.
you definitely cracked out. Defo cracked out, drunk, something like that. Like you know,
Oh.
like yeah.
Probably one-handing it with
Yeah,
like a cigar. With a cigar.
What do they call it? Like the Cadillac autopilot, like just stick on the wheel, like you know, kind of vibe.
No, but that's pretty much it as far as like I can remember as far as like what I've been up to for the last 3 years. Going back to that, the only other thing I could think of is low key a little bit of a flex, kind of sick. I got to meet Tom Matano, one of the creators of the Miata and the Arc 7, and he signed my owner's manual.
Yeah.
That shit
Yeah,
was
it's
sick.
hard as fuck.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been so bored of Need for Speed. I've just been playing that shit in real life, bro. I'll be honest. I've just been going out to car meets, meeting people I wouldn't even think I would run into, and then going out on like little toge runs at night and shit. It's fun. California is a goated spawn point. I'm not gonna lie, especially if you're into cars.
Yeah.
But
No, I hear
CJ,
that.
what
I hear
you been
that
up
loud.
to?
So just kicking things off with 2020. During the pandemic, I lost my job. You know, just kind of going through college, online courses, all that bullshit.
I feel you, bro. I
Um,
feel you, bro.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's basically what it was.
Unemployment's the reason why I ain't been doing no car shit for real. For real.
But yeah, that 2020 year, the gamer just sitting at home gaming. I mean, that was probably the closest year, and that's probably the last year we'll ever have. And I want to sound like doomerish here, but that's probably the last year where it's gonna kind of feel like high school, because literally me and the boys, like, we're all just gaming every night till like 3 a.m. You know, because what else are we gonna do? But other than
Yeah, we
that,
need
hear
another
that.
pandemic. I agree with CJ.
yeah,
Like,
I want to game.
I kind of
more.
want to. I kind of want to touch on that. What you said about like fucking last year that feels like school. So like obviously I've been out of like education since like 2019. I completely agree. Like I completely agree. That year definitely felt like I was just kind of like wasn't really doing like obviously we're making YouTube videos, whatever. But like yeah, definitely like had elements of like when I was in school making videos, whatever, you know, kind of
It
thing.
was school settings. There's no life progression. It was just school settings. Pandemic year.
And I mean, I honestly,
Even though I wasn't in school.
I only started
Yeah.
seeing I only started seeing this within the past year. Just a little bit of a side note. I've been seeing people reminiscing and feeling nostalgic for 2020, and I can definitely see why. But at the same time,
Bro,
2020
CJ.
is such a fucked year for humanity. But it's
CJ.
still see how we can still feel nostalgic for it. Yeah.
Now I look
CJ.
back on it fondly, defo.
Yeah.
CJ, you have no idea the thrill of going outside. Gas is $2.70 a gallon.
Yeah,
The roads are
yeah.
empty, bro. The
Bro,
roads are
yeah.
bro. Don't even get me started. The amount of driving I was able to do with no cars on the road. Like, dude, I could go out and not have to worry about some dumbass on their phone, some troglodyte on their phone running into me because they're distracted on it. Like, oh, bro, yeah, that is one thing that I think is super nostalgic about that year was the fact that like I was just out driving in my little Miata with no traffic on the road, blasting Eternal Take, baby. That's all it was.
These men were asleep. I was awake.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I was saying. I was awake. Some of the trips I did were disgusting. But, yeah.
I unfortunately really didn't go anywhere in 2020, but I do remember 2020 was the year where the Cannonball like record coast to coast got broken like 4 times over because like the
Yeah, I
roads
watched
were
the
all
video.
Yeah, but that's cheating. That's different settings though.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
not.
yeah,
that's
no,
not.
that's
That's not OG
like-
settings.
that's like you're turning traffic density to low.
Yeah, literally, that's cheating, bro.
But I mean, aside from 2020, really, I mean that was the first full year I had my Acura. So just really I paid that off, my Acura off in 2020, and really about it. I got like a shitty job at like a grocery store. Just it's just we're just AFK for a little bit in the life progression. We're just kind of AFK for a bit. And 2021 is when I started, I guess you could say, freelancing as a videographer, and I got my foot in the door, and I guess you could call the live sports industry. And we're just kind of chilling, doing work. I'm finally getting work in my field. And this is the year where YouTube kind of started taking a little bit of a back seat. There really wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean, there was Forza Horizon 5, but
Yeah.
yeah. Again, 2020, 2021, not really a whole lot for racing games. We're in that big drought. And, it's the year where I just started, it was really the first couple years in my life in the past, decade where I started prioritizing stuff outside of YouTube, and you just kind of have this like mental shakeup. I guess you could say where you want to be in life. Because up until this point, I wanted to do YouTube full time, but it's really unrealistic. But in the same time, I'm getting into an industry that I love and I really enjoy. Just being at all these sporting events in even though it's a college setting, like these basketball games I'm working, like the vibes, like all there feels like you're at an NBA game. It's a lot of fun, like working camera and then seeing like your camera work on TV. Like that's a lot of fun.
I kind of want to just like before we move on from that point, touch on I think it's also comes from like a place from where we came from, uploading so frequently. Like, I go like even now I go like maybe a month between uploads. Like, in the big scheme of things, it's not multiple months. Like it's once a month kind of thing. But I still notice like. I don't know whether it's a mixture of like YouTube expecting more from my channel because I've historically uploaded more, or whether it's like the people who are watching are uploading more. But yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it? Because I will still upload every month, but I'll still get those few comments be like, oh, you're back. It's like, bitch ass motherfucker. I was here. I'm alive. I'm here. Like I'm tweeting. I'm on Instagram. I'm doing all that. I'm here. It's just interesting. It's just interesting hearing that, and then also like the element of like quality to uploading thing, that finding that balance between uploads is also interesting. But we move.
I'm trying to think 2021 and so 2021 I actually did go to Miami and I got to rent a 2019 Dodge Challenger. So that was
do you know that car suits you?
Yeah, no, I love
it. Really
the Challenger.
does.
Redneck ass motherfucker. Like
I love the Challenger, bro. Florida is even if you're in the center of Miami, it's so fucking redneck. The amount of like conspiracy theory shit I see, like it's so fucking. It's like peak. It's like America for people who like. It's like peak America for people outside of America. Florida is like the. You know how like the United States is the Florida of the world. Florida is like America, but like on crack. That's basically.
I mean, I've been to Orlando.
Yeah, but
that's not real Florida. I don't think that's tourist Florida.
We were definitely in tourist Florida. Like we weren't in like the stick. We weren't. I wasn't getting eaten by an alligator or anything like that.
I feel like what Jay experienced is real Florida.
Yeah,
like I remember. Yeah, I remember him telling stories about like how he was like in this like $1 million neighborhood, and he goes like one block over, and he's just like in the ghetto with these chickens crossing the road. He had the flu. He had the flu in the back seat of his car while his mom was driving, and like from like Orlando to Miami, bro. That shit sucks. That I can't imagine getting the flu on a fucking trip, bro. Fuck all that.
I was ill that literally that same trip I had. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I remember
probably coronavirus.
Yeah, that shit was disgusting. Nah. Beforehand, I was originating it. drinking all the swamp water, like.
Yeah. Patient zero.
Patient zero. I was just gonna say that.
Patient zero.
But yeah, no, I mean driving a Dodge Challenger through Miami Beach and like Miami, that's such a vibe. That's so cool. I really enjoyed that.
All right, CJ, which one was it? Because you said Charger first, now you're saying Challenger.
Challenger. Sorry, Challenger.
He didn't even know himself.
I thought I said Challenger there. I didn't catch that. But no,
CJ be like, Mopar, no car, Mopar, no car. And it's a V6.
As I sit here driving an Acura. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. That was a vibe. And then 2020, and then later next month, I went to South Carolina, and I got to drive an 2006 Mercedes, not an L class, not a Mercedes L class. But it was a Mercedes, like I forgot what. It was like a shitty like, and this car, I shit you not, it was a car from 2006, but it had no power steering, like at all. Or either that or the power steering was fucking busted.
Dead.
Because
Probably dead.
yeah, no, I literally I wanted to make like a slight turn. It's just, you have to. It's like
probably
a
dead.
fucking arm workout. But aside from that, I really didn't do a whole lot of car stuff. 2021, 2022 was a little different. Went to Florida again. This time we rented a Mustang convertible. And I preferred the Challenger mainly because I had sunburn and we had the hard top, so the soft top, and we had the top down.
Man got the factor 50. Man
yeah.
didn't put the factor 50 on.
Bro, Cam, want to know what's nice about not being pasty like CJ? Not
Well, you
getting
can go
sunburned.
outside. You can actually walk outside.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
nice.
no,
Actually.
I'm very unfortunately pasty. I have been working. I've been trying to get outside more, like the summer.
I've been
like,
trying to work on this tan, guys. You like this tan?
bro.
Hey, do you guys think my tan line on my butt cheeks looks weird?
Bro, I look so fucking like pink on this like webcam. Like I look so like.
Oh yeah, you look really pink.
You're looking like a vampire ass motherfucker, like. For real.
Yeah, I look like I don't go outside. But yeah,
That whole lot of red drip.
But 2022, I got a promotion, and I started directing some stuff for like some live television games, and like just more work as a camera person, camera op, and doing replay work. And that like 2022 is the year where I started like properly like directing stuff. So directing games for ESPN Plus, getting that like insider vibe into like live streaming games for like ESPN3, working a game. I was doing camera work during a CBS Sports game that they were covering at our school, which was nationwide. So just seeing the whole production and all that was like really cool. Just getting more into the industry, reevaluating, I guess, where I want to be in life, what I want to do. And then 2022, early 2023, me and a few friends, we founded a production company. And right now, the production company is growing at a very fast rate, faster than we all expected. We don't even have a website up yet, but we also have like a ton of clients. Getting into the world of real estate photography and just, growing, I guess you could say, my portfolio outside of YouTube. YouTube just as a whole, though, really boosted that, it helped me into the industry, gave me a lot of skills.
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps. And basically I'm at a level, I don't even have a college degree, and I'm just at a level working with people who have degrees and doing stuff well.
What's hella fun is applying the YouTube knowledge to projects outside, but I think the part that's even more fun than that is the reciprocated way around, where you come back to YouTube from doing the thing that you applied YouTube to, and now you can apply what you've learned from applying YouTube to that thing and apply it back over here.
That's
like,
exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Cool.
It's like, I definitely feel like my quality has improved just learning, like being in the industry and like learning different like skills and like different ways to do stuff.
Because I like with me as well, like I think I'm a bit different in like I didn't really talk about it, but like before I took this full-time job, which is obviously managing and running and shooting YouTube content, I was also doing freelance videography as with the idea of being like a consultant slash like videographer editor kind of thing for YouTube channels. And one thing that was really rewarding that for me that happened, like, so there was one channel, I'm not going to go named, again, no free promo, you motherfuckers. In fact, I ain't going to go there. I ain't gonna go. I don't want to start no beef, But, they basically had 0 subscribers. As we all know, we're YouTube people, some of the people listening might not know, but like, the hardest thing about YouTube is getting that initial snowball. Then once you have that initial snowball, then you kind of grow from that, and, you only need 1 or 2 videos to hit the algorithm, and then, you're like you've basically you'll kind of get a fan base from that kind of thing. But yeah, there was this one channel, the classic car garage. I'm not gonna mention their name because there's no free promo. But like they had 0 subscribers when I started working like on that channel, and then by the time then I left, they had 2.5k, 250,000 channel views, like 6 months. seeing like that, like seeing the theory of it, because I also there's probably an element if you guys can agree as well. Like we've been doing it for so long, like you know, I don't know, maybe there's an element of that kind of like dopamine hit kind of like goes way a little bit. Like, I can only speak for myself. Like, definitely feel like there's an element of like getting a bit stagnant, and you kind of think, oh, like you kind of doubt your skills a little bit in terms like, oh,
That's,
have I
that's
still got
exactly
it a
what
little bit or this whatever. But for me, my perspective, like with the freelance work, putting it all into action and actually seeing like 250,000 views in fucking 4 months of a channel that had zero. That's crazy. And
Yeah.
then like, doubling like average watch time in the space of like 2 months, whatever, 3, 4, whatever, the kind of thing. Like seeing the actual theory work outside of my own channel, that's something for me that's been absolutely fucking huge. Like, yeah, it proves like in my mind, like, I've still got it, kind of thing. Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
definitely one of those things like, been out of the game for a little bit, that, being that having that burnout, you come back to it and it's kind of like, oh, like, am I still there, kind of thing.
yeah. And it definitely, for me, touching on what you said about like, oh, I've been stagnant, not really doing anything. My channel has definitely been stagnant for the past like 2 years. I've been on 14,000 subscribers for how long now? Like at least 2 years. And honestly, it's just because you're not applying yourself. YouTube getting burnt out, taking a back seat. But recently, having gone and applied a lot of the skills that learned from working in the industry and just applying my craft, just seeing YouTube videos doing well again, getting good search, getting good, like being pushed out to people's recommended, that dopamine hit, it comes back. Like you definitely get it after you haven't experienced it in a
Because
hot minute.
you're refreshed.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
when you come back to it after having done all the other stuff and having learned all the other bits, like, you know, it almost gives you like motivation in a different way,
Mhm.
because you basically worked for someone else in that capacity. It's like, well, like now I can do that for myself, kind of thing.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I find it with inspo, whatever it is, like obviously I make music. I haven't even touched on that yet. Make music, do all types of shit, like alongside the video work. But like the inspo comes in waves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
like
like,
yeah,
is it one of those things, Cam, where like when even if you want to be motivated to edit a video, for example, the inspiration may not be there, and just because the inspiration isn't there, you won't act on it. But the inspiration will be randomly hella high for another like creative outlet that you may partake in. Is
yeah,
it kind of like
sometimes
that?
like with music, for example, like I'll go like a month with just beat like like literally just shitting them out, like one after another after another, and then I won't make anything for like 2 months, 2.5 months, and then it'll, maybe in that time I'll be like doing some DJing, or like maybe in that time I'll be making videos, or something like that, kind of thing, and yeah, it tends to just come in waves, like kind of thing. Like for example, one example I can think that's just straight off the top of my head, like the Cayman video I put up a few months ago. That was sitting on a hard drive for like maybe a month and a half, kind of thing. Like, or sitting, it might have been in Premiere and it was in a certain state of edit. Even this S2K video I've recorded maybe 2 weeks ago, but mix of like obviously my full-time job, applying for other jobs in the meantime, like
And I'm
before
sure
I
you have to
got
go in
that
for some
job, kind of
reshoots,
thing.
huh?
Say again.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably have to go in for some reshoots, yeah, like B-roll and whatnot.
For the S2K video.
Yeah, or is it all
No,
done?
no, it's literally all ready to go.
Lit.
Um, but it's just, like for that video to be the best I know it can be, I need to actually be in the zone,
Yeah,
and that's probably, I find that's the hardest. Like it's almost like writer's block a little bit, kind of thing.
it is.
Yeah. You kind of feel stuck at times, and then like all
Yeah.
of a sudden one day you just get an idea. Like
But then on the other hand of it as well, it can just be as simple as like you sit down and then you get in the flow. Like I think there is definitely an element of discipline with it as well. Like sometimes you might not
Yeah.
feel like doing something, but once you sit down and actually do it, like you'll kind of just get in the flow anyway, kind of thing. And I guess I'm lucky as well. Like with my full-time job, I'm editing YouTube videos and like shooting YouTube videos full time. So that element of rust is never really gone because I'm always doing stuff. Like, believe it or not, like even though I've not been uploading like loads recently, like these last few months, like probably made double digits in terms of the amount of videos I've made for other people. Like
Yeah,
with
I think we've,
whatever.
even though our YouTube channels tell a different story, we've all been still very active in terms of like shooting. Because like
Yeah.
I've been doing plenty of it as well. Like obviously sometimes when I go to car meets, like I kind of just want to chill, talk to some homies, just take it easy. But like there will be other times where like I'll bring all of my equipment, like my A7, my
Yeah.
VHS camera, and I'll just like shoot hella shit. And I'll kind of just like keep it on my computer and just use it as like use it for a show reel or whatever. Or like, for like let's just say for example, I'm doing a commentary video, for example. I need some like filler media to like splice into the video that I could use shit like that. So like a lot of the shit that we've done can still be like taken back to YouTube, but like yeah, we've been just hella busy with video stuff like outside of our own channels, it seems.
And I kind of think just to round that whole like topic up, and I said you guys got anything else to say you can add on, but like what it really comes down to, like, and I think I'll probably speak for all of us here, but what it really comes down to is money Effie make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Money Effie make. The Porsche ain't paying for itself. If I could like lockdown, just sit here and fucking make videos all day, every day, I would for my own channel. Like, I still would do that. Like, and one day if that's possible, I absolutely would do that. At the end of the day, money Effie make. You've got to make, there's like to do all these things we're talking about, to go on all these road trips, do all this, that, and the other. Like, you're gonna have to make a sacrifice somewhere. And
listen,
like,
bro, it's simple. Like these days, we've leveled up. We don't. We're out doing bigger things. We're gonna shoot videos that are bigger and better than anything we've made. We're not staying back here and doing $50,000 Need for Speed budget build video or whatever. Like we're not doing that, bro.
The thought of doing so, I like in the alternate timeline, if I'd carry on making Need for Speed videos after Heat, oh my god, I probably would have killed myself by now. Honestly, I probably would have fucking taken my own life. Like
Need for Speed Unbound Ultimate Drift Build.
Could you imagine making like? And you know what? I'm not showing no shade. I don't watch any of them, man. So like,
me neither. I said I don't watch any car media.
I don't watch no one like that. But like, I just could not imagine, like, just doing that. Like, effectively for your living. Like, that's the reason why you're doing it. Like, when you take a step back from the thing, you might enjoy the game, whatever. But in the end of the day, you're doing it for your living. Kind of thing.
Yeah, and
I could not imagine doing that. Like, separating the work from the play kind of thing. Like, I just couldn't imagine doing that. And it's not to say that I don't play racing games, because this is something we've talked about privately before. Like, recently, I've been shitting out Gran Turismo hours, bro.
Oh
hours
my god,
hours
bro.
on hours on hours. Like, I still play racing games, so it's got nothing to do with the fact, like, like, I don't play. I definitely still play racing games. But it's like, it's almost like disconnecting your pleasure from your work kind of thing. Like, what you do in your pleasure time, you should enjoy it. And there was a point for me anyway when I was doing it full time where it was like, like, I don't want to fucking think about any racing games after work kind of thing, because it's like, it is work. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. And
I don't think I'm like that, just because like I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little retarded, and I play just mainly racing games. That's pretty much all I play. Like, there's the odd FPS, or there's like the odd strategy game. There's like that one odd game, but for the most part, like, I would say 95, 97, 98% of my playtime is racing games, if not 99% of it.
Yeah, I'm a gamer, so I'm playing like a ton of different shit. But like,
I'd say it's probably probably majority racing games, but I do play other stuff as well. To be fair, more recently, but definitely do play other stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a boring gamer. I do not play much, genuinely.
I will say,
just racing games.
For me, it does kind of get to the point where like sometimes the lines between work and pleasure are skewed, because I'll sit down, I'll play Need for Speed, like I'm bound. I'm like, oh, I should turn this into a video. I should make content out of this. You get that like kind of like that OCD effect where like you have to be making content, you have to be doing this, when in reality you should just be chilling out, playing the game, enjoying it, So you need to find that like good, healthy life work balance. And I could not imagine logging on to Need for Speed every day to make content. I like Need for Speed Unbound. I'm in the minority opinion here.
Not even just Need for Speed though. Need for Speed, Forza, all of it. Like,
do that. But I'm in the minority. I enjoy Need for Speed Unbound, but I would fucking hate that game if I had to make like videos on it every day, every week, every month. Like, I enjoy the game for what it is, but at the same time, I couldn't see myself doing this as a full-time job. And this goes back to like my kind of like my awakening, I guess you could say, through 2020, 2021, where like you're going into the industry, you're doing like stuff in different industries, you're working out in the field. You know, YouTube and content creation just kind of takes a back seat. You kind of reevaluate, you know, like, because for the longest time, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make Need for Speed content every day, every month, you know, that's what I wanted to do. But then once I, you know, touched grass, I guess you could say, my whole opinion kind of switched on that.
Yeah, I think my opinion is different there. Like, I would still love to do YouTube full time, but on my own terms. And I also think there's an element that is different even with like my channel's history. So like before I did racing games, I did fucking like COD and FIFA videos, you know.
Like, and
even during like the kind of like racing game like era, I guess, whatever you fucking want to call it, like, you know, I was still sprinkling in other things, you know, like it's never just been one thing, like, you know. And I think the progression of my channel, like going into like I've even with Assetto and Sims and real life car stuff, I've kind of always sprinkled that shit in. And like, I don't know, I think my view would like I'd still love to do YouTube full time one day, like, but yeah, on my own terms, not on the algorithms terms, like not with 3 uploads a week doing X, Y, and Z, or not with this. Like, I want to be able to upload, upload once a week. That's fine, you know. But like, you know, whatever I want to upload, like whether that's like a car review or whether that's a, you know, like a I don't know, like a no hezzy video, or whether it's a this or that, you know, like maybe it's a documentary about fucking the history of the Cayman or whatever, you know, kind of thing. Like, that's what. Like, I've always aspired to like YouTubers like Eddie Burback, you know, like those style of content creators like Nakey Jakey, like whenever they upload, people watch, kind of thing, you know. That's the position.
Kind of a spectacle in a way.
Yeah, like that's the position I'd love to be in, where like doesn't matter when you upload, what you upload, like, you know, people are there and they're waiting, you know, kind of thing.
Exactly. And
even if it's for like months.
And I want to say as well, before I lose that point, like, I'm very, very grateful for the names I still do see regularly in the comments, because it is always the same people.
Yeah,
it's always the same people. And I just want to say, because it doesn't go unnoticed, and I've not said this in ages, so yeah, it doesn't go unnoticed. So you know who you are, you know, very grateful.
Yeah, it's crazy actually, like, think about it, because like back in 2017, yeah, different thing. Oh yeah, I see the same names around it, but it's like 3 to 4. I'm like discounting 3 to 4 years is still a long time, but it's only 3 to 4 years. You know, the fact that we're in 2023 and I still see the same motherfuckers commenting since 2015 is insane.
It's nuts.
Shit's crazy.
Absolutely.
Like, there is a lot of like, I think for me anyway, just because I think I'm the you guys have had like kind of a, I guess like more so you, Cam, you've had like more of like, I'd say a linear growth like the past like couple of years, whereas like in 2020, that's when I went from 1.5K to like 30K by the end of the year. So like I have like a lot of new people on my channel, but it's really interesting. Like, there is that like 1 or 2 commenters like in the sea of comments. I'm like, damn, that's an OG right there. And I guarantee you, bro, one thing that's really nice about Drivecast too is like when we look at the comments, it's the tight-knit motherfuckers that are like, it's the real ones. It's the real ones that are watching this shit. Like, bro, if you are for real an hour 15 into watching this, you're a real one. On the first episode back, sheesh, Drivecast back.
For real.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like on that note, do we kind of want to talk about like where we're gonna take this? Because we didn't really chat about like, you know, this like the schedule and those kind of things.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Yeah, like, do you want to take the lead, Richard?
An hour 15 in, and we are introducing the schedule for the podcast in true Drivecast fashion. See, this
ultimate shithousery.
This is why we need Jay, because I could get away with saying the retard slur just because me and CJ are neurodivergent, but without Jay here, we are for real fucked, because we have two dumbasses and then one regular person just outweigh. We are just like mentally handicapping this podcast.
Drivecast Uncensored or Drivecast Unhinged or like Drivecast.
Drivecast always been unhinged.
It's Drivecast Handicap. So podcast
be a sick logo.
with the car and shit, with the little handicap like
like with the blue, the blue wood testing. That'd be hard as fuck.
But yeah, so with the podcast, I feel like to keep it fresh because man, I don't know about you guys, but like, we have like over the years, there's those like there's that one day out of a few months where like we'll reminisce and watch like old podcasts. And like even though it is cool, I do remember when we were in the like dog days of the podcast, like the 80s, 90s,
like weekly
around when we're doing it weekly, like right around, I would say like right past 100. I think like around, I'd say 101 was our peak because right after 100 we had Stelio on, bro. We had Stelio on 101. That's crazy. But anyway, so
and he kept himself together still. He didn't say anything.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I feel like then back in the 80s and 90s of the podcast, it was a little like, since we're doing it weekly, it's not we're running out of things, but it's like the passion toward the podcast was like we're really running on fumes. Like we were doing it because we enjoyed it, but like the like spark really wasn't like there under our asses. We like kept it going, and like I feel like the podcast was fine, like especially for how old we are. Like when we look back on it now, it's gonna make us cringe because we were like fucking children. Like when we were still doing drive, we were literally minors when we were doing the podcast weekly. So yeah, I feel like nowadays we kind of all agreed a podcast that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours long once a month is like I feel like that's enough. I feel like that's enough because like on us, like we've all been burnt the fuck out creatively, whether wherever it may be. So I feel like the podcast is like one of those sacred things where it's like it isn't really too normal from any other fucking Discord call, to be honest. It's just the difference is we're like filming it and we're scheduling to film it. But yeah, we're just planning on doing it once a month, hour and a half plus ish. I feel like that's enough because it'll keep us from getting burnt out. The conversations will always stay kind of give it the word. Fresh is the word. But because doing a podcast like once a week, like when that's our only time we can meet up like as friends to just record a podcast, it's not like, I don't think it's ever been strenuous on our friendships ever, but like it's just like it's one of those things where it's like we cherish time with each other so much to the point where it's like, man, I don't want the 1 hour I'm gonna spend with you out of the week to be on the fucking, like, to be for a podcast, like I want to be able to enjoy that time with you boys. So I feel like once a month is like it's consistent enough to the point where it gives you guys enough fucking content, like an hour and a half of us bullshitting for a month. That's you guys.
I think
you guys
even like
chilling.
like,
and it's edited now.
Yeah, for real. Like, but I think even potential, like, in the future, like, if the month, like, obviously the monthly thing is what we're gonna go for. Like, I would personally love to, like, we could potentially extend that by like maybe 30 minutes or whatever. If we've got special episodes, do that as well.
Yeah.
Like, the actual format of the one a month, like, I think we're still like kind of thinking about it. Like, it's not set, nothing's really set in stone in terms of the actual like podcast itself. Like, we've got ideas in terms of like this how we want it to be look and all that kind of stuff, but like even whether that's like set like segments and shit, we're still quite open to stuff. So like, if I'm down to hear people's suggestions is where I was gonna go with that. And if anything's good enough, we'll see what
because like I would say like an hour and a half would be the bare minimum, because I feel like any less than that is like, that's like almost teasing in a way. Like, this is more than likely gonna be like quite a bit more than an hour and a half, probably.
I mean, so, like, we're already at 100. We're 100. We're already at an hour and 21 minutes in. We just float naturally. So
yeah, and I think like if it is going to be a thing where like it is once a month, like 1:30 has to be the absolute minimum. But then I think like everyone will see all like the effort that's going into it. Like, it is real, and I think you know, like the world we live in now compared to the world we lived in when we first started this shit, so
Oh
different. Like
my god.
the world of podcasting like did not exist when we started
No.
Drivecast. It did not
No.
exist in the way it exists now. Like, you know, you
Everyone and
talking
their
about
fucking grandpa has a fucking podcast,
yeah,
bro.
talking about like the Spotify deals and talking about, you know, all that shit. Like, like none of that shit. Like yeah, we were the weird ones for having the podcast. No one else had a podcast, kind of thing, you know, especially in like the in our niche, you know, like.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Michelle Obama unironically has a podcast is insane.
There's people with like 3, 4 podcasts, and like there's a whole like podcast scene now where there's people who are literally just celebrities because of podcasts. Like, like it's grown into its whole like other thing because as radio's kind of died down, talk radio, you know, it's gone out the window. People are turning to podcasts for like, you know, that type of like fix.
I thought where you were gonna go with how the world then was different now is
Oh, I know
ter-
that way. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say now.
in terms of like what we could talk about, like
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
our
yeah.
mini map, you know, in GTA when your mini map inside of a building is like a hallway takes up the entire mini map.
Yeah.
Bro, now it's like when you're in a car. Like I can see everything now. Like my world is big now. I could drive. I
Clearly.
could drive now.
I mean, that was one of the reasons, like when we were just chatting about this outside of like obviously this hour and a half, like, you know, just chatting about the life experiences and stuff, like, you know, like I guess again linking to the point of like what you guys will like see and shit, like obviously a lot of it's just going to be shooting the ship kind of thing, you know, like,
Yeah.
but you know, we've all got like so much more life experience, like when it comes down to motorsports and like music and shit, like I think now especially like we're way more like we just got the, you know, the big head knowledge about that shit, you know, compared to
Yeah.
before where we didn't have. As you said before, we were just children, you know. Like it's for
Yeah,
real,
we
it's
were
raw,
literally
it's raw.
minors.
If you could dig some shit up there, cancel me
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
cancel me, bro. Cancel me. Hey,
Cancel me
I'm
right
looking
now.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to it because
I can
guess
say
what?
that word. They called me that when my ancestors were on the fucking boats. Come for me,
Bro, they said, bro, they called my grandparents coconut. You could fill it in. You could fill it in. You could fill it in.
Tell them again. Tell them again. CJ got no excuse though.
Yeah.
CJ got no excuse though. So you
Reddit,
cancel him. You can cancel him.
My ancestors were the baddies. My ancestors.
No, his ancestors were on Reddit.
Yo, for real, for real. And hold tight, we got the most in-depth lore of any podcast on
Oh
this
my
earth.
God.
On this earth. We got the reboot. We got the
Oh my god.
the mermaid DLC. We got
Mermaid boat DLC. Shit.
We got the lore. We had the special guest
Bro.
era. Like the lore
Bro.
is there. The lore is there.
Bro, we have
there.
off J Drivecast. We
Yeah.
got which literally happened. Which
Yeah.
literally this
happened.
is literally off J Drivecast. That is
Yeah.
crazy. That is crazy.
This is what I'm saying. The Lauren's deep. The Lauren's
The
deep.
lore is crazy. The
It's
lore is
crazy.
crazy.
We had who? We had Stelio. We've had Karu on. We've had we've had tons of like different.
We had Kuru on. That's right. That's
Theo
crazy.
on. We had GTA Wise guy on. We had fucking loads
Like,
of people.
there are some people we've had on who I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Like, who
In
the
those
fuck-
early days, for real. That's real life.
like who is this guy? I have no idea who this guy is.
Yo, I'm swear down. When Karu came on one time, there was a few people in that call that didn't know who he was.
This was like 2017. So like this is like when he was like fresh. He was fresh starting out.
One thing I did want to mention that we didn't mention. I'm surprised we haven't fucking mentioned it, to be honest. Was oh, we met up.
Yeah.
We met up.
To be fair, we were saving it for the end. So
Yeah.
let's run through that still.
There was a big
Same.
omission from all three of our stories.
So I think let me start because
Okay.
I know exactly where we should start from. So we all met up in real life. Originally, the trip was planned for COVID. Actually, it was 2020. It was May 2020, and I bought the flights. Them motherfuckers still didn't give me a refund. So what was their names? Kiwi, go suck a fucking dick, you fucking morons! I swear to God, don't use Kiwi travel agents. They're fucking piss take. They're a scam. Don't do that shit. Still ain't get that refund.
You didn't get paid back.
£350 and that motherfucker, and I never got on that flight. For real. Anyway, we were supposed to go and meet in May of 2020. It didn't happen, obviously, because of the Modelo virus. And yeah, basically a year afterwards, I was gagging to see the boys. The boys were gagging to see we were gagging. We were all gagging basically. Yeah, we were all gagging basically. So it was November 2021,
21.
which is mad. It's
Yeah.
2 years ago this year. Crazy. It's been that long. And yeah, we all met up for the first time. That but it was like, what was it 10 days?
Yeah, it was 10 days. It was
10 days?
it was like 10th to the 20th of November.
I will send you the Snapchat I'm thinking of in my mind. I remember stepping off that plane, and I was being in the car. Like that was probably one of the most euphoric experiences I've ever experienced. And believe me, I've had a lot of euphoric experiences. If you understand what I'm saying, but
I mean, I'm sure
that-
shit is playing on the screen right now. Shit is definitely playing on the screen right now.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
trip.
like yeah, I've done a lot of euphoric experiences, kind of thing, but like that was probably one, like, yeah, almost an out of body experience. Like that moment when I stepped in the car. And,
Okay, I
like,
feel like up to there though. So because
yeah.
because so the
Totally,
story really
take it away,
began.
Take it away.
The story really began with Cam because obviously he had the longest trip, so like his trip began before everyone else's. However, the trip really began when I picked up CJ it was
Yeah.
sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It was like 2-3 o'clock or something, and I picked him up at the airport. Did I play Blade E that time too?
Yep.
What song was playing?
There was a lot of drainage.
I
There
remember
was a lot of draining. There was a lot of draining.
It had to be off of.
Was it Jaws?
No.
It was some bullshit off of Ice Dancer probably. Anyway,
It was
so I
Ice
pick up
Dancer.
CJ.
Answer.
I pick up CJ and we just chill in the parking garage, bro. I felt like I was hanging out with a friend from school where you just go to a parking lot and you just chill for like hours and shoot the shit because we're just waiting for Cam.
It
Like,
just
we had
felt like
nothing
a
better to
Discord
do.
call. Like when I was there with you, so I imagine that's probably what it was like when you two were
Yeah,
there by yourself. You know what I mean?
it was just Discord call. Like it was the equivalent of a Discord call without playing a game.
Exactly.
Like you know, on the days where we had shit to do, that was like, hey, let's play a game. You know what I mean? Like we were preoccupied but doing it together, you know. But like when me and CJ were just chilling in the car, that was just like when you're in a call, just you two. You're not playing anything. Maybe some music's playing. But yeah, we're just chilling, and then we're trying to fucking find your ass because you flew in from the international area, so we're trying to like fucking find you because it's all separated. The airport is all fucking weird.
Yeah, airports are long generally, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're running like up and down like the escalators, like through the parking
Yeah.
garage, like running around on
Yeah, literally.
like
And,
door two. I'm at door 10. Or what was it? Door 10 or something, and we're looking for like all these doors. Like, what the fuck's he talking about?
And then of course, Cam is like in a crowd of people. He is so fucking easy to spot because usually he's wearing something. His fits are always crazy. He's wearing something a little flashy, like a flashy top for sure, like something bright.
Color. I do like color.
Yeah. And like, and even colored pants too. Like he just be fitted the fuck up. You can find him hella easy. That fucking beautiful jawline, the kissable lips, that beautiful beard. Fuck. So when me and CJ saw him, I don't remember what the reaction was, but I'm like, I think we were like, yo, that's him, that's him.
He's real. He's actually real.
Yeah, he was like, he's actually real.
It was just screaming. It was just like,
Yeah.
you know, I remember like, grabbing or slapping one of your ass, like kind of in real life. Like I told you, I've been
crazy.
I told you, I
Crazy.
said for years, I'm gonna slap your ass when I see you, CJ. And what did I do? I spanked that motherfucker. Like that was real life. That was real life. I spanked that ass.
Yeah,
That's
gave me a rash.
Yeah, for real. And
I don't know about a rash. You should be wiping your ass, bro. I thought you had a bidet. Fuck,
do-
was that pre-bidet? Was
do-
that pre-bidet?
No, this is post bidet. This is post bidet.
Okay.
But yeah, like yeah. Then you know we obviously drove back, and I just remember like it didn't feel real. Like there was like for that first like few minutes when I was acclimatizing. Obviously, I've just come off this fucking plane, so like I've been on the plane for 8 hours, and I remember we were just draining out, and like CJ
Bro,
was in front
I
of me, and
remember-
I was just like. like touching his
Yes. I was literally gonna say that. I just remember like I was just like driving on 280 where I listening to music, where just chilling out, and then I feel Cam's like left hand just like shake the fuck out of my arm, like you're real, you're real. Oh shit.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, do you want to like carry on with the story? I feel like you've got the timeline in your mind.
Yeah, so we that night was pretty cash because it was by the time I picked you guys up, it was like sunset, because you know it was November, so it's like almost winter, so the sun kind of like sets a little early, but it was probably way later than it was in the UK though. It was probably already set at like 4
Yeah, it
4
was
p.m. for
definitely
you.
way
Fuck.
later. It was way
Fuck
later.
that. But anyway, we're just like I think that day the mission was to get some za and to get some In and Out.
Yep.
And I'm not talking pizza this time. And we just like we chilled out, had some In and Out, and on the
Sorry,
next day,
before you continue, the American takeout different levels. The absolute some of the food I ate on that trip, my bowels did not like it, but my soul did. You know that shit. Oh, all those E numbers, it was worth it. All the cancerous cells, worth it. That was worth it, man. Sorry, carry on.
but yeah, I think
I'd say
on the 11th, did we have anything the day after, like a concert? Didn't we have Suicide?
No, you did. You forgot a thing. So we went to go get the Tsar and security guards, and I remember there was security guards, and like basically they wouldn't allow me to use my driver's license because they had to scan some shit. So we had to go back and get my passport, kind of thing. And I remember having some jokes conversation with the fucking security guard. He was like, "Do you have weed in England?" And I was kind of like, no, it's legal there still. You can go somewhere and get it, kind of thing, like over the counter, but you're not supposed to, kind of thing. And he's like, yo, man, that's totally rad that you don't have weed in England. And I was like sat there thinking, this geezer is having a laugh with me. Like, I had a few interesting encounters with, as you go through the story, we'll talk about it, you know, with the Playboy Carti fans who didn't understand what a Q was, all types of people, all types of things. Anyway, but yeah, carry on with the story.
Was that on the 11th? I think that was the 11th.
The day after, wasn't it?
Immediately day after, I think that was the Playboy Carti concert. I don't think we like had too much planned other than going. We went to a Cars and Coffee right beforehand, didn't we?
Yeah, I got loads of photos of that.
Yeah. So we woke up early that day. The concert was like later on in the day. It was like, you know, fucking 5, 6, 7 p.m. whatever it was. And we had a Cars and Coffee to go to in the morning, and we chilled out. Looked at some cool cars, hung out with some cool people. It was lit. And then I think
I've got the timeline up. I've got my
okay, for sure.
pictures up. So yeah, we went to the Carti concert. Had a banging.
I just remember.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say. I just remember on that day of the Carti concert though, like we had the Cars and Coffee in the morning, and then we went on the mountain drive. Like I took you guys up the Togays, and then chill out in San Francisco for a bit, and went to the Carti concert. That shit was sick.
was first time experiencing Popeyes on that day.
Yeah.
Mental.
That was actually my first time experiencing Popeyes. Believe it or not.
Shit was fucking lit as fuck. Like shit was lit as fuck. I remember
Popeyes.
getting tacos on the way back at some Buki van, and I was like,
downtown San at 2 a.m. It was cash only. None of us had cash, so we had to go to like a 8 p.m. in downtown San Jose.
We booked it because so it was pretty late at night. I'm pretty sure it was like
2 a.m.
It was like 2:30. Yeah, it was like it was really late.
The photo I took of the fucking taco, it says 2:43 a.m.
Yeah. Okay, so
like
that truck closes at 3 a.m. So we had to like book it 2 blocks away to the Wells Fargo so I could like withdraw some cash so I could go back and get some fucking post-concert tacos. And my God, that shit slapped.
Yeah.
It was for anyone curious in the Bay, it is Spartan Tacos, which is a low-key overrated spot. I'm not gonna lie, the only reason why I took you guys there is because there's nothing else open. But goddamn, that is a fucking quality place to be open that late, though. I will be honest. But generally speaking, it is like the mid tier of taquerias here, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But I think UCAM should carry it away because you got the
Yeah,
timeline
yeah,
up and
yeah.
shit.
So then the following day, we didn't really have much on, to be fair. Like, we went to the Miata cars and like meet thing. You know, when the guy with the
Okay,
secret
yeah.
came.
Hey Cam,
Uh,
before didn't you want to talk about the Q incident at Playboy Cardi?
Oh my god.
Is that?
You just mentioned it.
I'm just trying to remember whether it was.
It was Cardi because we
Yeah,
were.
it was Cardi.
It was outside Billy Graham. It was.
I mean,
Outside
there's not much to it. Just you fucking
But
know,
it was just-
don't
it was just
understand
really
English.
funny.
Basically, all it is like you
Really
fucking
funny.
Americans don't understand English. And I went up to, and we were trying to find where the queue started because it was looping round kind of thing. We had no fucking idea. Like it genuinely was going on.
Yeah,
It was
Right.
doing zigzags, like it was going everywhere, bro.
Yeah, I
Like, it
went
was
up.
spiraling.
I just went up to some random fucking vampires in the fucking queue.
Man.
And I was like, yeah, where does the queue start? Like, you know, where, you know, what's going on? And they were like, queue? What do you mean queue? And then CJ had to translate for me. It was like, he means line.
Yeah.
What? Like, what? What?
His
What?
translator.
Like, what does that even mean? It's Q. It's English. It's not like I'm not speaking. That is the only time I felt like I was speaking a different language, even though I was speaking the same language. Like, yeah, that shit was crazy, and that happened multiple times on that trip. And I've faded in the Ho times 5, so like, I'm here in my mind thinking like, I can't get another word out of my brain. Like, I'm stoned in a motherfucker. Like, I can't get another word out. I'm like, Q. Like, you know what I'm talking about. But I had a few interesting encounters on that day. I remember like being in the fucking elevator, and they were like, "Oh, what song are you looking forward to him playing?" And I was like, at the time, obviously, Donda just come out, so I was like, "Junior, look, that tune's gas." And all these fucking nerds in the elevator were
Oh
like,
my God.
"Ew, Junior," like kind of thing. Like, they were all them man were listening to Sky or whatever, you know, kind of thing. But
See,
you know, if you know, that
here's
was-
the thing, bro.
Back then,
Okay.
back then, you know, like. You know, in that my headspace was a bit different then. If that was me now, I would have slapped them up still. I would have been like, "Oi, why are you looking like that?" Like I would have said some
Bro.
shit. I swear to fucking God, if you got a bit more alcohol in me, I swear to God, I would have said.
I'm just gonna say, bro, like, okay, I don't really I don't like really shitting on people's parades, but my God, the like Cardi Vamp Opium fan base is gotta be, it's
Bro.
gotta be one of the worst on the internet, bro.
I'm a hater. I'm a hater.
I'm a big
I'm a
hater, bro.
through and through. I would have slapped them.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have been like, "Why,
joke.
bro?
It's-
Why you all dressed in
Dude.
black?" You know?
Do
like-
you remember when Mr. Rage started playing and everyone just like was like, oh no, no.
Yeah,
And it's like,
no.
you guys
They're
are
like AF
cringe,
they're
bro.
like AFK. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
But that was one thing as well I noticed, like when I went over there, like the crowds over there are way more stushed compared to the UK. Like no one dances over there really. Like, you know, I remember singing my heart out and I'm getting looks from people like, "You're at the concert, like what else the fuck are you gonna do? Like dance, sing, like that's
Yeah.
what you're there for." Like even
Well,
the Suicide one, it was a bit better, but like still a lot of people like just kind of
See,
like
that's the thing.
know,
You're dealing with like stickler wannabe goth emo people, so they're gonna
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was
be
the
like
same for
that.
Suicide though. It was a bit better.
No, but that's the same at Suicide Boys though. That's what I'm saying.
I would do it
Yeah.
it was outdoors. I think helped a little as well, and it was just a
And also, it just wasn't the Opium fan base.
yeah, no, it was a friendlier vibe. It like you know, it was a
vibe.
I got a very fun vibe from Suicide Boys.
I
It's like-
definitely got the vibe that like people just weren't as fucking battered as they are. Like over here, when you go to a concert like that, like yeah, definitely different vibes. Definitely different vibes. And I definitely do think I thought a second about it before saying this. I definitely think it's better here, but like it's just it was definitely interesting to experience that because like especially the Carti concert, them man were out for blood. Like
I
them man were
remember-
not- they were not there to enjoy the music. There was bare phones. Like yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Different.
yeah, that's
I
the
enjoyed
thing,
myself.
Cam. I was gonna say is I feel like the big difference between here and there is, you know how like they say, and trust me, this is gonna feed into what I'm gonna say. You know how they say American culture influences international pop culture type shit.
Yeah.
It's because Americans are chronically fucking online. And you saw that at the concert. Like, everyone was on their fucking phones.
Yeah,
We were,
yeah,
like, the only people. We
I'm
were the
not
only
saying-
people not on our phones.
I'm not saying that doesn't
Like-
happen here because it definitely does happen here. Like the more
Okay, capture a couple of moments,
vibe-
but You're not recording the entire fucking concert. Put the
No,
fucking phone
that
down.
definitely does happen
Put the
here.
phone down.
Yeah, that definitely does happen here. And I'm not saying we're like, you know, that doesn't happen here because it definitely does happen here. But the
But on a
crowd,
smaller scale.
yeah, probably a lot smaller of a scale. And I think there's also the element of like the binge drinking culture here is just different. Like it's way, way different. Like I was saying to you guys, are you guys not going to drink? Are we not going to do this, that, and the other? And you guys looked at me like, no drink, I've got to drive back. And like over here, we would have all got fucked up. And we would have figured it out, like kind of thing. Like that's just how the culture is here. It doesn't matter whether you're a nerd or a football player. It doesn't matter like what group you're in, like at school or whatever. Like everyone here does that, you know.
I will say, Cardi was my first ever hip hop concert, and that was my first time ever in like a mosh pit or like doing a wall of death or anything. So I'm just there with like my phone in my pocket the entire time. I'm like moshing like this, you know, trying to keep my phone on me at all times, my wallet safe. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, you gotta do that. A bum bag would have been good for that.
Yeah.
That trip. But yeah. Anyway, segueing.
You mean
through.
a fanny pack?
Oh fuck!
So-
off.
Is that what that is?
The translation? Fuck off, mate. No, a bum bag.
He said
But it goes on the front. But it goes on the front. And that's a fanny.
bum bag, but like that just went like right over me. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah,
what that is.
I know it did.
I need
anyway,
a translator. I need a translator. Richard, you can be my translator.
Back to the timeline. So yeah, we had the MX5 meetup with the C7 guy rolled true.
Oh my god. Let's just say that guy was a fucking the like on those like car meme pages there's always like that meme like that one uncle. He was that one uncle, bro. This motherfucker was unked up in this fucking C7 or no, it was a C8. It was a C8 Stingray. It was like brand new, and he rolled up in the C8, and he was just like showing us. He was just like flexing on us pretty much.
Yeah,
and then, bro, this fucking old white guy just like dips out of the parking lot and does a little pull for us. And it was one of the craziest NPC interactions. I think.
Yeah,
I feel like it was so canon that they were both in California for that, because that is such a California moment. Holy fuck.
You know, even when we're going back to the translation problems, I even felt that when I was speaking to like the car people, because obviously at the time I had the Clio. And I was trying to explain to everyone, like, I've got a Renault Clio, and obviously you lot don't get the cars. And there was even, like, I remember that, like, people were looking at me like, the fuck is a Renault Clio kind of thing, you know? Like, one of the most legendary, like, hot hackers of all time, you know?
You clearly haven't played enough Gran Turismo or Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Or, like, watch Top Gear or anything,
watch Top Gear.
Or Formula One.
Yeah.
Renault, Team Renault, like.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, that was, you know, sick day. The Cali car culture, different level. Like, I think over here we do get it, and it's definitely better the more south you go. Like, closer to London you get, it definitely does actually get better, weirdly enough. But
I
yeah.
can imagine with the weather, it makes sense.
Yeah. And like, yeah, definitely with the weather in the summer, it is lit over here. Like, good word, what shit. But in Cali, it's different. Leads me perfectly on to the fact the next day, that was Laguna Seca Day.
Yes.
Laguna Seca Day the next day. That was also wild. First time, obviously, in Cali, so first time ever going to Laguna Seca. That shit was wild. The corkscrew doesn't do it justice on video games or on film or whatever, or in like when you're watching it. When you're actually there, the corkscrew different level.
Bro, the hill you have to climb.
Bro,
the hill you have to climb to get to the corkscrew is insane, bro. It is a workout.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Like it doesn't matter if you're in shape or out of shape. That shit fucks up your legs, bro. It shit makes you burn. It makes my
once I got up.
It makes my legs quiver, and CJ wasn't even eating my ass. Crazy.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, some mad whips we saw there.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I've got loads of shit on my Instagram, so you can use that in the edit. But like, yeah, that was a crazy experience, and like, yeah, that was for me as well. Like, obviously, like for me as someone who doesn't live in that country, like that's like one of those bucket list moments we got to tick off during that trip. We could have easily spent another 10 days together, like, but there was a lot of stuff, especially later on in the trip, we didn't actually get to see. Like, I still need to go back to LA.
Yeah,
and
you guys
LA
weren't able
properly.
to do
And even San Fran.
After you guys left, there was literally the day after. Because I remember I
Yeah,
sent
there
you
was
guys
an
off to the
event on
airport
Monday.
on Friday.
Yeah.
There's a Week Fest San
Wakefest,
Jose the
yeah,
day
yeah, yeah.
after.
So like there's like still a bunch of stuff that we need to tick off, but I'm so happy I got to go to Laguna Seca. Seeing it in real life was crazy. Um, and then following day we went to Cars and Coffee. That shit was crazy. Like that was when the whole car park was rammed, and we saw the fucking Tesla on F1.
Oh, yeah, that was
Like,
that was in Mountain View, the one in Mountain View. Yeah.
yeah, that shit fucking crazy. Like again. Like the best way I can explain that is like Fast and Furious in real life, like the originals,
Yeah.
kind of vibe, like crazy from seeing it from my perspective, like just how different it is. Like it is definitely way more friendly. Like the people, like people chat whatever they want to chat about America, but like people were way more friendly. Like you can actually go and actually have a conversation with people. Like over here, a little bit more clicky. Like like the context of a night out might be a little bit different. Like if you're going out, then like people might be chatting to you. But if you go into a car meet or anything like that, it's not really like that. Like it's not like even when for example, when we were chatting about the weed shop, and like that kind of like banter, you wouldn't have that banter with the randomer here. Like it's more like just fucking I'll serve you then kind of vibe,
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's like that here too. Like California is completely different. Like people are a lot more friendly, open. I've been to car meets here where I live in Pennsylvania, and you just get this very standoffish vibe from a lot of people. It's a lot like a lot of people are just kind of like like you said, Cam, clicky. Like there's different cliques of people just hanging around, and like
I feel like
there's a lot.
it's this.
At least where I am, it's a lot more trashy. There's a lot more burnouts. There's a lot more, you know, engine revving. Like there's a lot of that stuff.
But you see that it's the same exact way here, CJ. It's just the difference is I know the people to to go to the good shit. That like so you don't have like fucking fucking people with like a 300 credit score with their 2017 Mustang GT fucking revving their shitty fucking Coyote in a parking lot. It's like, bro, I don't want to hear it, bro. It's a V8. Like let me just chill. Like I don't want cops to come here and like fuck everyone over just because you decided to rev your shitty fucking Mustang. Shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Yeah, I think
no
that's another reason why I think like maybe I haven't found a group of car people so easily is like I like to do a lot of my shit like in the depths of like I live quite close to Wales, which is like where all the twisties are near me kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of like the Birmingham car crews, they just do donuts around roundabouts and like they do drifting around roundabouts, whatever, kind of thing. That's not my vibe. Like I actually like to drive my car like relatively on the limit as far as you can get on the road kind of thing, but yeah, that shit happens here as well still.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I'm just gonna go through the timeline. Feel free to interrupt me if you want to, because like we still got quite a lot to go through. So yeah, same day. We saw Suicide Boys. That was fucking crazy.
Oh my god, no, we gotta stop there. And we immediately gotta stop there. We immediately gotta stop there.
I'm gonna add on to that. So like Slow Tie, he fucking was the supporting act. Obviously he's British, and that was a crazy moment because I've seen Slow Tie at Boomtown like twice kind of thing, like, and it was crazy being in like in an environment where like I was the only person there that knew the lyrics to his tunes. Crazy. That was crazy. But then Suicide, oh my god. I have a very distinct memory of smoking a bong in the rave.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. That was crazy. Smoking the bong in the rave. Like, a little spliff in the rave. I've had that, done that, whatever, like, but a bong in the rave. That shit was mad. That shit was crazy.
I remember smoking a bowl, like, just waiting in line. Like, going in.
I was blasted. I was blasted.
We're lit. But
and I remember like off like because this is like on one of the I guess you could say it's on the waterfront in San Francisco on one of the piers right next to where we were. There's a guy in a Charger doing donuts. I remember that specifically.
Oh yeah, of course. It's always a fucking Charger in the Bay, bro.
Always a Hellcat.
But like, yeah, no. At the concert, we also failed to say we were in a big ass group as well. Like, we met up with like I think a total of like 12 of my friends because there's like 2 different groups, and then we combined those groups and then my group, so it was 3 groups in one. So we were all just like, yeah, chilling at the at the Suicide Boys concert, fucking bopping together. Some of us went on like our own little side missions to find some mosh pits and mosh around. That shit was fun. But yeah, Suicide Boys was hella sick. And that was
it was really good.
that was my first time seeing them, and it was so hype. I'm so glad they played like all the tunes I wanted them to play. And as we were leaving,
that list was banging.
as we were leaving, that's when the Charger did the donuts, right, CJ? When we were leaving.
No, it was when we were waiting in line.
Oh, when we were waiting, that's right. When we were leaving, though, when we were leaving, we went to a gas station because we're hella tired because, you know, we're at a concert. We're a little pooped. We need to be hydrated again. We need to get something from the gas station. We need to refuel. So we distinctly remember, I remember, like, all of us, while we were inside of the concert, we see this guy, like, with a cone. Like, just wearing a cone. And you could see him from, like, all the way back, because it's a guy wearing a big ass traffic cone on his head. And we go to the gas station and we come back out and it's the fucking cone guy.
Yeah,
we run into the cone dude, and so we're just chatting it up with him. And Kim, I think you should interject here.
I think you should tell the story because I think you got a better memory of it than me,
bro. Okay, so we're just like shooting the shit with traffic cone head guy.
We're all faded. We're all faded.
Yeah, we're all pretty litty. We're all pretty litsky, and we're just shooting the shit, and Cam comes into the conversation, and the dude goes, "Oh wait, where are you from?" He goes, "Where are you from?"
Gilroy.
And he said, "Gilroy, California."
And everyone just started laughing, and my mum was so
like,
confused.
Bro, the thing is, like for the people who are not from California, imagine like Cam, do the British translation, like a random fuck ass town that no one really cares about. That's low key as shit.
Gilroy is like in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very much. It's kind of like Wolverhampton, to be honest. It's kind of like Wolverhampton. Like, it's where I live, really. Like,
really?
There's just nothing going on, really. I mean, actually, there's probably less going on because, like, yeah, we have like a Premiership football team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, there's like a major sports team.
That's
like,
what I mean. Like, what's the equivalent to like a shit, like little shit town no one cares about?
I don't know, like Burton.
There you go, Burton, England.
Yeah,
that's what he basically said.
Burton, or like, I don't just, you wouldn't know the places, so it doesn't really matter. But like,
it's like counting the sticks. Like, that's literally
it's just garlic. It's just known for garlic. The town's known for garlic. They apparently do some pretty good garlic.
They got the garlic roller coaster.
Yeah, the garlic roller coaster. What was the day after though? That traffic cone guy.
We ain't finished yet. We ain't finished yet. So on that night, I remember going back to yours and we were having beers around the fire.
Oh yeah.
No, it was around what's his name, Matt?
Oh yeah, we went over to Matt's house and yeah.
And we had like beers around the fire pit.
Some beers.
That was also a vibe.
Oh yeah.
The following day was a bit of a nothing day. We just ate food, went to some Chinese spot. Like, we probably just got faded in a ho times 5, I imagine, to be honest. Like, I reckon that's probably what was on, you know.
We probably went out sightseeing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Say again?
So we probably went out somewhere.
Yeah, probably just went out for a little drive or something like that, you know. You gotta keep in mind, this is November, so, like, we didn't have many hours of sunlight, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the following day, we drove up to LA, played beer pong. I'm pretty sure I got the decks out. CJ had a wank in the toilets.
Yeah.
That's the next day.
Early hours. You know, kind of thing.
But no, that was the day where we got there after driving down California. We actually got really lucky.
Oh my
driving down the 5 through San Fernando, and we went onto the Foothills Expressway because we were staying in East LA. And thankfully, later we found out that there was this like lady in like a big ass pickup truck driving northbound in the southbound lanes of I-5, leading cops on a high-speed chase
toward us.
Yeah.
So we got hella lucky. Just divert.
Because all we did was I wanted to. I like that little road that like parallels 5 because like there's like an abandoned gas station off of it that we couldn't find because it was nighttime. And we just like while we're driving down, it was kind of just boring. We went to Raising Cane's that day. That was my first time trying Cane's for any American fast food enthusiasts.
Bakersfield for it. So that was a
Yeah,
little
we had to go to
but-
Bakersfield for it, but at least it was gentrified Bakersfield, so we weren't gonna like get stabbed or anything.
farmers.
Yeah, by like farmers, redneck farmers. But yeah, on the way down, yeah, we missed that. Thank God we missed that fucking cop chase. But then we get to our house, and we're just settling in. We're putting shit away, and outside with it. This all happened within a couple of hours. By the way, keep in mind, someone got shot down the street. And then there was also a police chase on the freeway, which CJ got video of. CJ was doing color commentary of that shit, bro.
But ironically, like, is like straight out of like GTA 5, because like where I'm from, we don't really have helicopters with spotlights or anything. So like just seeing like the helicopter tracking a car on the freeway and hearing all the sirens and shit, and literally as you open your door, like it was right there. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
It was lit because we
Yeah,
were like
wild.
right next to the 60 freeway. Like
Yeah,
we
we were like,
the reason why we stayed at the Airbnb was because it was fucking cheap. Like and it was
Now we
I
know
won't-
why.
I won't lie. I won't lie. The interior was nice, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
where it
fine.
was located though, kind of not chill. But we were fine. I remember we
And
went
then
out.
like yeah, carry on.
Oh no, that's later. That's later.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you could probably like fill in the blanks really. Like it was a lot of sightseeing.
Yeah.
Obviously we did LA Canyons IRL.
Was that the next day? Was that the middle day?
No, it was the day after. But
Oh, okay.
timeline don't matter. Like the highlights from here, kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of sightseeing, which was nice. Obviously to just go and actually see LA. Like I said,
We went to
earlier
Santa
on, we didn't-
Monica. Santa Monica.
Yeah, we went to Santa Monica. Like
Long Beach.
again, we could have done a few more days just doing the sightseeing thing because
Yeah.
we did. Yeah, there's loads of stuff even in San Fran we didn't get to
It's
see kind of thing.
low key impossible. Not around the bay. Around the bay, it's easy because our traffic is not nearly as bad as it is in LA. But like in LA, if you want to go to multiple places around LA, you literally have to like separate
Plan
that
it.
by days
Yeah.
because it's just like it takes way too long to. I mean, you guys fucking know it took us fucking 3 hours to get from Santa Monica to the other side of the county. Like, it was ridiculous.
Like, and also like the fact, I'm just looking back, the fact that we drove from East LA to Long Beach to Santa Monica and then through DTLA back to our place, like that's kind of nuts. Like just in one sitting, like
Yeah.
that took like 8 hours probably.
Yeah, the traffic was crazy to be fair.
But that
and then
night,
we got lit than a motherfucker.
we got no, and we went to the studio, bro. We went to the stew.
Yeah, no, on Sunset
Yeah.
Boulevard.
Right, that was
Sunset Boulevard.
annoying. That was annoying. I still look
That
back
was
at that
so
time.
sad.
I was
That was so
annoying as a
sad.
motherfucker because my USB corrupted.
We're in the middle of the mix, by the way. In the middle of the
in the
mix.
middle of the mix. Like, yeah, that shit was disappointing. But we did go back, and I brought my decks anyway, so we did have it at home anyway. So there was a little bit of that, but yeah, we are definitely due another studio trip at some point because that shit was.
Yeah,
I need to
that
play
shit
that
was so
set still.
fun. Like, cause like, bro, we
Um,
were just chilling in there where Cam was mixing together some fire music. We're sipping on some.
I was just getting
brewskis.
into it as well. That was the annoying part. I was just
Yeah.
getting into it. Like, if it was just at the start, whatever. If it was at the end, whatever. It was just as it was getting good. So
Like we were
Yeah.
at the rising action arc
Yeah.
of the
We didn't climax it. Climax
yeah. We
it.
haven't even climaxed yet.
Speaking
But-
of climaxing, we after that we went bar hopping and we ended up at a strip club for bikers.
oh shit, that shit
Oh
was
my
scary as
God.
fuck.
That,
I'm not gonna
that
lie.
shit was a little sketch.
Yeah, that
So-
shit was scary.
sketch.
After we went to the studio, which was on Sunset Boulevard in Silver Lake, we got a Uber back to our place, and we got another Uber to take us down to
We thought
Fullerton.
it was a bar.
Yeah, we just looked up random bars in Fullerton, and I don't know why we chose Fullerton, but we went down there.
That shit looked like it looked like a GTA
Yeah.
like business.
Yeah, and
like
we-
San Andreas
we-
type business.
Yeah.
Our Uber driver took us there. He drops us off. He's like,
And he was like, "Are you sure?" Yeah, he said,
"Yeah,
"Are you sure?"
And we're
yeah.
like, yeah.
This is the place. But we got a drink there. We got a drink at
No,
the one place
no.
before.
No.
There was
got it.
Oh, there was that one place because I remember
there was the one
uh,
place we got the drink at, and we were getting looked at.
Yeah,
from
we
the
had to
guys on
get-
the other thing.
We had to get like patted down to enter. Too.
Yeah.
It was, like weird.
Which is that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal, I'd say.
That's
Uh,
not really here.
Like
not
you
in
know,
freedom,
I
America.
mean, if you
Mhm.
look suspect, we all probably look very suspect. but yeah, probably one of the highlights of the whole trip, which by the way, I gotta go in a bit. So like, we need to like hurry this fuck up. We need to hurry this fucker up. I gotta go in like 20 minutes. But like, yeah, probably that one of the highlights of the trip for me anyway was LA canyons.
Fuck.
Driving the G in the canyons, doing felon speeds.
Oh my
Allegedly.
god.
Nah, it doesn't
But
matter.
he doesn't live there.
They can't do nothing to
True.
me. I'm not even in the country no more. Still,
True.
you know. Yeah, I'll say it. 105, whatever the fuck it was, 110.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
35.
I don't give a fuck. Allegedly. That shit was
yeah,
crazy. So I want to say, firstly, like, it was crazy to be there with you guys, especially having driven in it so much.
Yeah.
In
In
the
a sort of
sim,
course
you know?
together, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like deja vu, like just being there. At the
Yeah.
spot.
Shit was
We
crazy.
knew what corners were coming up. Like, it was pretty crazy.
So yeah, like that was crazy. I remember. Do you remember we saw the Taycan that was taking the photo shoot,
Yeah,
and we
'cause-
actually saw the photos on Instagram. And like,
Yeah.
they got recommended and shit.
It was the official Porsche page that posted them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we were in the background filming this video, and we were just in the way of this professional photographer trying to take pictures
You
of
gotta
this
show the
Taycan.
clip of CJ coming out of the boot at this point. Like,
Yeah.
imagine. I want you guys listening to imagine CJ in the boot of a car, and official Porsche USA are taking like photos of this Taycan kind of vibe, like. But that shit was for me that was surreal as shit.
Yeah, that was so sick.
Man.
I think that was like one of my favorite days ever.
Yeah.
Like we had some fire ass sandwiches like right before the toge too.
Yeah, I had a pastrami sandwich before then.
Shit was fire.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, that was probably that was like the last full day really before
Yeah, 'cause-
they came back.
We went
We just
home.
drove.
We just drank. I threw up for
Drank,
for a while.
Yeah, we got home, drank, smoke, and then we just went to bed.
And my God,
basically.
Can be a wild snore. It's crazy.
Yeah. When my hay fever is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty bad.
I'm glad I had my own room.
I-
No. I shared your.
No,
the
I was
office.
gonna say like I shouldn't be complaining because I had less days with dealing with the snory roommate.
Yeah, I mean CJ stole my cap, so you got
Oh.
nothing to say anyway. Yeah, literally.
I still have it in my
Yeah,
closet.
you need to hold that till next year, until the next trip. Still.
It's not layaway. It's not
And you-
layaway.
Don't worry, I'm gonna watch that shit like 4 times.
What I know is funny is CJ came back. Me and CJ. There's this bit where CJ came back solely to get his camera lens. He had this like lens cap. He had this lens cap that was in the back of my Infinity for an entire year, and like because he came back in November of 2022, and I gave him back his lens cap because on our trip together, like he left his lens cap in my car for a whole ass year.
Did I leave anything this time?
No, but
So, yeah, we forgot about one big thing.
Oh.
And I think this probably one of the biggest stories for the trip. And yeah, I've got to go soon, so I don't know whether we want to maybe planning after this, but so yeah, the one thing that we missed, CJ's flume. I had to do it. I had
Why?
to do it.
so on our
Yeah,
final
Richard,
day.
tell him.
On our final day, it was the 20th. The dreaded day has come. I'm about to fall into a couple day depression because my best boys are leaving. So I'm taking them to the airport. We take CJ first because his flight was earlier, and me and Cam decided to take a little
can still
detour away
taste
from the
that.
airport. We decided to take a little detour away from the airport and have a little have a little detour in San Francisco and just go somewhere to eat. And we stopped at the it was like some pier, I think it was Pier 28 parking garage or something. And I was sitting there and I see CJ left his vape in the center console. And I was like, "Oh shit, what is this here?" And I hit it. Wait, no,
Right.
you hit it. You hit it first. Didn't you?
I hit it first, and it genuinely I gagged. Like I thought I was gonna feel sick. Like
I thought you were just
Yeah.
overreacting, so I was like,
No,
let me try.
no, it was-
And bro,
yeah,
I
it
took
was
a rip
real.
of it, and my God, it tasted like throw up and ass at the same time.
yeah, like musty throw up. Like
Yeah.
bro,
I
Also, CJ, your zoo etiquette, you get like fucking
Oh my
liquid
God.
all over the fucking
Okay,
thing,
no,
man.
hold up, hold up.
Oh, CJ, why
I
you
have
getting wet?
a defense.
Like,
I have a defense.
no,
I
you
have a-
don't have a foot to stand on,
I
bro.
do have a
You
defense.
don't have a
Okay?
foot to stand on, bro.
I do have a defense. This was my
Shit,
when
man, he'd be licking it. He'd be like, oh, like licking that motherfucker. Like, relax, bro.
when we were on this trip, this is my first time smoking a blunt or a joint. This is my first time smoking a joint. So I obviously didn't develop the
Bro, he
necessary
was sucking
skill.
that shit. He was like,
Yeah, man, it was like it was pum pum, like it was pum pum. Like,
That was my first time. I was brand new to the weed smoking community, so like I didn't know like the proper etiquette, you know. Like they're throwing all these terms at me. I'm like, I should have studied before I started smoking this. Like I don't know what these
no,
terms
it's
are.
very simple. Just don't when you
don't
you know,
slobber
drink
on it,
out of-
bro.
You share a drink out of a straw. You don't go,
I never share drinks out of a straw. That's
you
disgusting.
know, like we don't spit in it. You know, like bro, that shit was that shit. I'll never forget
Nah.
that. It was
I still
disgusting.
think
It was
this is a
awful.
giant conspiracy. I don't think it was that bad.
There is no conspiracy. We have evidence. We literally have evidence.
Where is it?
Oh,
It's in the
I'll send
garbage,
the
bro.
pictures.
Yeah,
It's
it's
in the
my
fucking
DNA
garbage.
sample. It's DNA sample.
that
I've got
shit,
the
that
videos
shit was
to
so
prove it.
fucking gross, bro. That shit was so fucking gross. But Drivecast is back,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, Drivecast is back. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Go back.
Like,
Hope you guys enjoyed.
like we said, once a month. I feel like that should quench the thirst. Listen, you got a 2.25 hour podcast. What more do you want?
That's nuts.
What more do you want?
It's nuts.
You want us to
Yeah, like
tickle your
if you
balls a little
really-
bit?
If it's not enough, do the first hour and that tease yourself. Like do a little edging, you know, kind
Yeah.
of vibe. You know, do the first hour and then maybe come back to it another week when edge again, and then do the last 15 minutes.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
kind of vibe. But I think honestly, like the only reason this week we like we could go for the hour, but like the only reason we're stopping it now is because I have to be somewhere. But like you know, I'm sure episodes in the future will go on for longer. You know. Kind of thing, but
Yeah.
otherwise, pretty good episode. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
That's great.
If it is, it's crazy how it's like riding a bike in it. Anyway, my Alzheimer's is hitting. My Alzheimer's is hitting. What did we say at the end?
On a separate note, my grandma was having back issues, and so I kicked her down the stairs. Do you think that fixes it? I hated hearing her complain all the time, and it shut her up.